Chandler Jones, if the Jags were to have gotten rid of Chandler Jones and done what the Patriots done, they'd get ripped for forever because how do you let that guy go? He's been very productive. The the Patriots let him go. Well, they got this guy named Tom Brady. They got Bill Belichick. They replenish things. They go win a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. Sure. Even though that wasn't a great move on the Patriots' part to get rid of Chandler Jones. He's been highly productive for their football team in Arizona.
The reason they got rid of him was because he was asking for too much money.
Absolutely.
And they felt that to benefit themselves on the salary cap, they're going to cut him basically. Well, they didn't cut him. I think just released him. Or they didn't bring him back, I guess you would say.
I was talking to someone recently, too, and the Patriots do that, right? But I don't think the Patriots model is something that everybody should model after because you can't find Tom Brady. I think the Seattle Seahawks kind of figured this out, too. They re-signed Bobby Wagner, but you can't hang on to Earl Thomas. You can't hang on to Richard Sherman. You got to let some of these guys go. Cam Chancellor, right? And that was a little bit more injury-related, and things went downhill fast for Cam Chancellor. But Russell Wilson, you do re-sign. I mean, how many guys have they re-signed? There was this big belief in the past that second contracts get you to the postseason. In fact, I remember talking to someone with the Jags a couple years ago, and it was like, look at the playoff teams in, say it was 2015 or 16, I don't know what it was, and they had averaged 8 to 10 guys that were on second contracts with those teams or by free agency and performing. And that was kind of their core group along with whatever young talent they had developed and everything else, and those teams were in the postseason. Well, now there's a little bit of a thought in some facets of the NFL that the Patriots and the Seattles who let people go and tried to redraft those positions or get free agents that might be cheaper might be in a better spot. I'll give you the Baltimore Ravens, for example, too. How many guys have they re-signed instead of let go? And I think the Ravens are more of an example of let's let them go and fill the holes and keep some of the guys that we do have, C.J. Mosley, for instance.
Yeah.
Right? They let him go. They didn't spend $70 million on him. Yeah. So it's an interesting dynamic in what you do and what is right and wrong. It could relate to Yannick Ngakoue's situation, and maybe that's why there is a cap on what they want to spend on him. And I always say they didn't replace him, but they did get another pass rusher. Like it's not if or but, it should be and when it comes to Yannick and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, I think it's a different position where you can benefit by having as many of those guys as possible. Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of like a different position. Like, let's say C.J. Mosley from the Baltimore Ravens, right, where there's only one middle linebacker, okay, and there's only one middle linebacker at the field at the same time, unless you're playing a 3-4 defense. So from C.J. Mosley's perspective, yeah, I mean, the guy went to who paid him the most, and the New York Jets by far offered him the biggest contract.
Big time,
so from C.J. Mosley's perspective, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer because they paid above and beyond probably what they could have got C.J. Mosley for. So they lose a middle linebacker, and now they replace him. I feel like with Yannick Ngakoue and the defensive end situation, it's a little different where you can have two defensive ends in the field at the same time. You always rotate those guys, and you hardly ever rotate a middle linebacker, and especially a bona fide one like C.J. Mosley. So from that perspective, to me, it's going to be the more the merrier, obviously, to be successful. So yeah. I think that's why keeping Jan and then obviously developing Josh Allen is so crucial.
Yeah, and I don't think necessarily Jan is a great example to say, hey, let's get rid of him. I think all these teams keep some of their parts, and Jan is a part that you'd like to keep. But it does bring up the question, should they have kept a guy like Miles Jack, or could you let him walk it the way he was playing after this year, especially in hindsight now that he hasn't played well? Let him walk or get a moderate deal for him. But you could replace him in that production because really what has he given you from a production standpoint? When you talk about Yannick Ngakoue, it's a premium position, but also he has given such production that the numbers just scream at you. They say, hey, you're giving this up now, and the guy's only 24, 25 years old. So there's a lot of ways to look at it, but we'll get into those. It was one tweet that kind of spurned, in my opinion, 2 or 3 different talking points. And it all started with A-Rob on display last night, and the Dallas Cowboys are awful.
Yeah.
And Mitchell Trubisky played well.
Yeah, that was another surprise.
And by the way, Trubisky, in my opinion, played well because of one thing. He can run. And the running game opened up so much for Trubisky last night to the point where I was screaming at Dak Prescott because I picked him in my pool to run. Dak Prescott can run. Why don't quarterbacks run more when they can? And Dak Prescott was struggling in the passing game. They weren't connecting on third downs, or But those 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, I'm like, hey, drop back. If you don't have anything on that first or second read, just take off and pick up 5 yards. It's so hard to defend if you can do it. Now, Nick Foles isn't going to do it, but Gardner Minshew can, Dak Prescott can, and Mitchell Trubisky proved very dangerous last night with his legs. Everything set up the pass with his legs.
Listen, it's not a coincidence, Brent, right now. When you name some of the top teams in the NFL, let's exclude the Patriots because they're always the outlier in everything. But you're talking about the Seahawks, talking about even the Buffalo Bills are improving. You're talking about the Ravens, obviously. I guess I wouldn't really call Jimmy Garoppolo a dual threat kind of guy, would you? He's more of a pocket guy.
He can move a bit, but I don't see him like those guys.
And even the Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, obviously. I mean, usually those teams that are at the top of their divisions, one thing in common that they all have usually is the fact that they have a quarterback that can move. And I'm not sure what percentage of the quarterbacks right now in the NFL are dual threat guys, but it seems like the guys that are having a lot of success right now in the NFL, they're dual threat guys that can beat you with their arm and their legs.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what else? You still need the offensive line. And
it helps.
Dallas's offensive line didn't play very well yesterday. The Jaguars' offensive line has not. Mm-hmm. And it goes a little bit back to the wall that says it all yesterday that we did. And it's already been kind of in my mind. And I might have even said it a couple times, but I don't think we've talked about it enough. A lot of people right now are saying, wow, you really miscalculated on Nick Foles. I'm going to make the argument that their biggest miscalculation wasn't the $88 million play for the quarterback. Their biggest miscalculation in 2019 was their trust in this offensive line. And it just has not delivered. I think top to bottom in that organization, they thought they had a pretty good offensive line. And it's turned out that they really don't. They played decent for a few weeks stretch, and it looked like it was building. And they didn't play a lot at all in August or the spring together because of injuries to Cam Robinson and the rookie Jawan Taylor. He wasn't even starting at that time.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different factors. But I think they put their trust in this offensive line like, we think it's good.
Sure.
And quite frankly, it's not good. Is it the worst in the league? I don't think so. But the bottom line is it's not good, and it certainly hasn't been good enough.
So here's my issue with the offensive line. I think obviously coming into the season, if you were to analyze and break down every single position, you would say the tackles, they could be a little, suspect just because Jawan Taylor's a rookie. And, yeah, he was a beast in college, but every single rookie in the NFL, they're going to go through some growing pains. I think overall –
last week was a big one.
I think overall Jawan Taylor's played pretty dang good. He's obviously worthy of that second-round pick for sure. I think with Cam Robinson, there were some question marks going in, like how healthy is he? He's coming off a pretty serious knee injury, and now you're going to put him, at left tackle, kind of the spotlight position on the offensive line. Like, how is he going to do? So that was kind of the question mark. I think where we both felt confident was in between the tackles. It was the guard and center play. And truth be told, it's important to have tackles, Brent, because they kind of set the tempo and pass blocking, right? Like, usually the tackles go against the best pass rushers. No, I get it. Aaron Donald plays in the middle sometimes, but usually 9 times out of 10, your tackles are going to go against the best pass rushers. So then when you have your guards, to me the guards are the nasty guys. They set the tempo and they allow you to run. When it's 4th and 1 on the 1-yard line, your guards get it done because usually you run up straight up the middle. And from that perspective, you're talking about Andrew Norwell, who right now is the highest paid guard in the entire NFL, and you're talking about the rotation between A.J. Cann and Will Richardson. The production there, it just hasn't been there, and especially from Andrew Norwell. And I know you're saying, maybe he's playing okay, but I want him to play like the best guard in the NFL because guess what? He's getting paid like it.
He was an all-pro at one
Just
time.
like I want Myles Jack. Well, he's out now. But just like I wanted Myles Jack to play like a top 3 middle linebacker in the NFL because you know why? He's getting paid like it. And then from the center position, Brandon Linder, we haven't really heard his name a lot. I think there's been some ups, some downs. Once again,
highly penalized,
and he's one of the highest paid centers in the NFL. So that's an issue.
The best thing you can say about Brandon Linder right now is he's making it through the season, which he's had trouble to do the last few years.
Sure.
But with I think I saw somewhere where he's the second most penalized offensive lineman in the NFL. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, that can't be the case. So let's not leave this topic. When we come back a little bit more, how disappointing has the offensive line been? And is it really Nick Foles that we should be so disappointed in the front office, or is it the offensive line and that trust that they put into that group, the ability to sign Foles based on what they thought this group might be? And they misfired in a big-time way. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics. We're live at TopGolf. Got a concert out on the driving range tonight. Jacksonville is going to party on a Friday night with Lee Brice and Cassidy Pope. If you like country music, come on out. Should be a lot of fun. And you can get your tickets at topgolf.com/Jacksonville. Tickets are still available. Really a cool setting here at TopGolf. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hanging around on a Friday. Tiger Woods, one shot off the lead. Oh, it's going to be a fun afternoon. We'll be right back.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun today. Mild afternoon temperatures reach the low 70s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now through December 24th, you get 20% off everything in the store, including loose diamonds, only at Beard's Diamonds.
As you know by now, I love the wings at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey, everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You'll love them, too, and you have to try the wings. But Mr. Chubby's has a full menu. Parents, kids, and sports teams, this is made for you. The American Dream Special. Burgers, fries, and a famous Mr. Chubby shake for just $12.99. The American Dream Special. I suggest throwing in some wings, too, especially the Maple Cajun. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. Chub it up at the place to be, Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with an experienced real estate team with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME.
Florida, CQ 1057788.
Minimum fee may apply. Not licensed in all 50 states. Visit rexhomes.com to see if Rex is available in your area. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Thank you for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. Everyone is loving our in-depth coverage of the Jaguars, the NFL, and all things sports. Another thing our listeners will love, your business. Let's work together and get you on the fastest growing sports station in Northeast Florida. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 904-245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Shop the 904.
This holiday season, shop local retailers right here in the 904.
When you shop local retailers, you're making an investment in our own community.
When you shop locally owned businesses, most of the money you spend with them stays right here in our community.
Locally owned and operated businesses give our community character by offering unique options for shopping and dining.
They are a big part of what makes living in the 904 so great.
Shop the 904.
Powered by Cox Media Group.
What's up, Jacksonville? Angie here, president of Angie Staffing. If you're finding it harder and harder to find the right candidates or your ads are letting you down, call me, Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. I have over 20 years of experience right here in Jacksonville. I can help with anything, accounting, finance, legal, even that one position that's impossible to fill. Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. We're bringing back the hustle.
The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you gotta go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Camry? It's not $19,745. Now it's only $15,581. That's $15,581 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Camry at Arlington. Gotta have a 2019 2019 Toyota RAV4, it's not $22,925. No way. Now it's just $19,481. Just $19,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota RAV4 XLE at Arlington. Plus, you're going to get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyotathon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
If there was an award you can give a guy that has the fastest get off in the NFL, I would be campaigning for that award for Marcel Darius. It's not only the first step, Brent, it's also the hand placement.
Catch Brent and Austin weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Hey, I'm Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flats, and this is Action Sports Jacks.
Getting back to Nick, whenever you make a decision like that, it's not all on one guy. You know, it's not. I needed to coach better. We needed to play better. We needed to protect him better. We win and lose as a team. I say that a lot. And we all needed to be better for Nick. I feel bad. We all feel bad for him. I mean, and no one's given up on Nick Foles, a quarterback. That's every year is different. Every game's different. It's a tough situation on everybody. I mean, on Coach Marone, on the staff, on players, the locker room. It's tough on everybody. You don't want to make those decisions.
All right, that was John DeFilippo talking about Nick Foles and the quarterback change. Welcome back here to TopGolf, everybody. We were just mentioning a little Rascal Flats mention for country music. And, of course, today it's Lee Brice and Cassidy Pope from the country music world. I mentioned, I don't know if she knows Casey Musgraves. I mean, maybe
no,
put in a
tell
little
the truth. You said they're friends, and then I got all excited, and I kind of perked up, and then you said you were kind of lying. So now I'm bummed again.
I think maybe you have to go down there, check this thing out, see if she's got a number.
I'm very interested, man.
We want to. Not number for that. We just want her to call in the show.
Yeah, man, you're gonna get me in trouble.
No, I don't mean a number for that. I mean, she might be. Is Casey Musgraves married or something? Maybe.
Yeah. From my research, I think she's involved right now.
Okay. From my research.
Yeah. Dude, you don't think I went online and looked it up like as soon as I found out who she was? Yeah.
I'm not sure her husband or significant other even have a shirt of her, like you do.
Probably not, no, because he's not that creepy like I am. I guess.
Welcome back to TopGolf, everybody. If you want to come by the concert tonight, doors open at 6 o'clock. Concert starts at 7. Should be a lot of fun. A cool setting, once again, here at TopGolf, and one of our favorite places to be. Jags Report Live every Monday. We do our show at 7 o'clock on CBS 47. You're always welcome to come out to that, win or lose, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But this is a little different now. No golf balls are flying tonight. Instead, it's some good sounds of country music from Cassidy Pope and Lee Brice.
And you know exactly how I feel about it, Brent. You know, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I have that spirit about me, and I feel like TopGolf, don't want to talk bad about it, man, but I think they missed an opportunity here by not allowing fans to hit golf balls at Lee Brice. And what was the other one's name? Cassidy Pope?
Cassidy Pope.
Cassidy Pope, while they're performing. I think it's a guaranteed moneymaker, and unfortunately, I hope that the top end of TopGolf is still going to be okay.
I'll tell Josh at TopGolf that they missed an opportunity.
Look into it, man.
To make this into real life roadhouse.
I would have spent $200. Just saying right now, I would have dropped $200 on the table for like 2 shots.
Now here's the deal: if I put our show out there, from 3 to 6 on the stage, then maybe people would come out and hit golf balls.
Let's go, man! I have some equipment I can wear to protect me. I'm not scared.
You were amongst the people yesterday. We're going to get into it a bit in celebrity poker tournament. Mark Kay and Kay's kids, by the way, raised over $18,000. We were at Best Bet Jacksonville yesterday. Mm-hmm. That was a fun day. You guys had a lot of fun.
It was a blast.
Just a real quick word on that. Yeah, you did beat Coos, right?
Yeah.
Or should we give that away?
Hey,
you did.
Yeah.
Okay,
spoiler alert. Obviously, I beat Coos.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit. But I teased the listeners out there with a little Nick Foles offensive line. Mm-hmm. And see, I've been thinking about this a lot, and we've been doing the wall that says it all. And you've really opened my eyes to this. When we take everybody to the wall like we did yesterday, you can go back and look at it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I tweeted out actually earlier today again, just if you missed it on the show. And if you look at some of the trying to get a yard, right, and you brought up a great illustration. Look at the offensive linemen, how many people are turned the other way. Like the offensive linemen, they're trying to go this way, like forward, and their backs are to the forward part of the field.
Sure.
And so that means you're getting beat up on the line of scrimmage, essentially.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but probably most of the time. And sometimes in those shots, there's 5 guys facing the wrong direction. They're getting blown up. And so you do that, and then you take us the illustration yesterday with Leonard Fournette. That play was blown up in the backfield around the 8-yard line. He was actually going to be tackled around the 10. He got all the way down to the 3 or 4 single-handedly on his own. And so the more and more context we get on this offensive line, the more and more we see on Sundays from this offensive line, the more and more maybe Nick Foles even exposed this offensive line for what they were because he's not running around like Gardner Minshew. I just feel like everybody's on Nick Foles. Nick Foles, they made a bad decision. I don't necessarily believe that if you go back to last spring and they were trying to upgrade the quarterback position. I think they made the best choice they could at that time. It's a lot of money, and now in hindsight it looks like it could be the wrong decision. I fully get that. But I think their fault in all of that might have been the false hope they had in this offensive line, thinking it was good enough. And this comes from a regime, by the way, that breeds toughness and likes the trenches. Tom Coughlin has always done that. Doug Marone's an offensive line guy. They change the offensive line position with Coach Warhop in there. They go get Jawan Taylor. They believe still in a highly paid Linder, a highly paid Norwell. And I don't really have a choice because they owe him money. Cam Robinson coming off the injury. And quite frankly, if you ask me the one position that's been least an eyesore, it's the one where they're rotating players, and I thought would be most the eyesore of A.J. Cann and Will Richardson Jr. at the right guard.
Which to me is one of the biggest eyesores for me just because I can't stand when they do that. I can't stand rotating offensive linemen.
But do you think the right guard position has played poorly?
I mean, like out of all the liabilities, I would say they're probably the least liable right now on that offensive line, to be honest.
So my whole point in this is, yeah, we can go get the quarterback and talk about the quarterback and say it's all Nick Foles' fault. In 2.5 games, it was awful, and he couldn't move, and it looked slow.
Sure.
But really, shouldn't we go back to the beginning and say they miscalculated? And you make good decisions and you make bad decisions in an organization. And I was actually on board with I'm not as concerned about the offensive line as everybody else in town was. But I think everybody else in town was probably right. This has been a concern. They never really have come together. They haven't played consistent football. They can't move people a yard on 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, 1st and goal from the 1. They just can't do it. Stop for the quarterback for a moment. This offensive line has been miserable in 2019.
And listen, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs game out of it just because the sample size for Nick Foles was so small. But when Sal Paolantonio called in when we were at the Players at the golf course, and some other people that we've talked to, they're all adamant about one thing about Nick Foles for sure, is that his ability to get the ball out quickly. Okay, so I think going into the season, where even if you're kind of unsure about the offensive line, well, you knew Foles had the decision-making as a positive, and you knew probably for the most part that his ability to get the ball out quickly can maybe make up for some of the deficiencies on the offensive line. Now, once again, maybe a small sample size, but the last couple games I've seen Nick Foles, I haven't seen those quick decisions. You know, I've seen him hold on to the ball a little bit too long. I've seen him make the bad read. So from that perspective, I get it. The offensive line is doing Nick Foles zero favors, and I think Minshew has done better just because he is a little more mobile. He has the ability to try to create his own play and therefore extending the play a little bit longer, as opposed to Foles, who's more of the pocket guy. But at the same time, where Foles was supposed to benefit from having this quick release, this quick decision-making, we haven't seen it the past couple games.
I think you hit it on the money, too. My belief here, this conversation point, is not excusing Nick Foles. I'm not saying he's playing well. I'm not saying this is all the offensive line's fault. That's not it. I think he has looked slow. I think he's looked a bit indecisive. He's looked uncomfortable, if you will. For a guy who's played in the NFL a lot, he just doesn't look like he's got anything going. No juice to him at all, no rhythm to it. It feels like he almost needed another preseason to get going, and who knows if he'll even get that now as a quarterback in Jacksonville. Yeah. But he does not look good. I'm not blaming just the offensive line, but I think if you take the entirety of this year, and if you take the yards after first contact, I think from Leonard Fournette, which I think he's amongst the league leaders, if not the league leader. At one time I believe he was. If you take the idea that they can't get a yard when they need it, if you take how bad Nick Foles looked when you knew he wasn't that mobile, and they signed Nick Foles knowing that he's not that mobile, and you would need a good offensive line. I just think it really echoes, and it really hit home for some reason this week with me in these last couple of days, and maybe I've been missing it and blind to it the whole time, is just how bad they miscalculated. It's not just how bad they are. It's not they're not as good as they thought they were. It's just that the whole thing they built this around on offense, they've severely miscalculated. And organizations do that, and sometimes it kills you. And sometimes you go thin at tight end and you get banged up at tight end and you roll that dice and it doesn't work. But, man, when you're on the offensive line and you go get Cedric Ogbuehi and you add with Jawan Taylor and you put your faith in recovering Cam Robinson and you pay these two guys a lot of money at left guard and center and they're not performing for you, that goes down as a gross miscalculation, and that can derail something in a hurry. And outside of Gardner Minshew's, his heroics and his mobility, and maybe a couple of games where the offensive line played pretty well, I was thinking around week 4, week 5, somewhere in there when Leonard got going. Outside of that, man, this offensive line just hadn't been good, and it's a gross miscalculation by the entire front office on these folks on the offensive line.
You know what? And it's a miscalculation, obviously, in the pass game, but also the run game as well. And I get it, man. Leonard Fournette, he's one of the top backs in the NFL, and he has the stats to prove it. But I would much rather see Leonard Fournette just get maybe 4 or 5 yards a carry as opposed to getting, stopped for maybe -2, maybe get a yard here, and then all of a sudden break away, for like a 70-yard run. Because that 70-yard run usually means that there's probably a breakdown on defense. Not to take anything away from Leonard Fournette, but usually when you have those long runs like that, either someone's missing a tackle or someone's not in the right gap. We talk about it all the time with the Jacksonville Jaguars with, not hitting the right gap and things like that against the Panthers, against the Texans, against the Colts. So it's a problem, I feel like, in the pass game and in the run game as well. And like you said, Brent, it was a complete miscalculation. And usually sometimes you'll get a team that's decent in the pass game and maybe a little rough around the edges in the run game as far as the offensive line is concerned. But I'll be honest, man, from what I've seen so far, I can't really co-sign and say that they're good either in the run game or in the pass game. I think they're a liability at both sides of the ball. At both sides of the offense.
I think it goes back to something we talk about a lot, and this is where you dress up the Jags in all different kinds of clothing. And they really just don't have an identity. And part of that identity is their defense has gotten sluggish, injured, looks different, not holding up, whatever it is, because that used to be their identity. And when you take 2017 and they were downhill and first in rushing and they were a run-first team, well, there was a little bit of an identity there too, even though their defense took the cake. Well, this team has no identity, in part because their defense has faded and their offense, like you just said, we don't know if it's a run first, it's better against the pass. It's really been inconsistent all across the board. And when you're inconsistent all across the board, that's where you hear that word consistency so much from the players. Well, you just don't have an identity. And the Jags have been chasing an identity now for 3/4 of the football season and are yet to find it. We think we have an identity. We're going to talk more about the Jags next, live from TopGolf on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. It's conference championship weekend in college football with a full slate of games that will not only determine the conference champs, but also shape the playoffs. In the ACC, number 23 Virginia takes on number 3 Clemson, and in the SEC, number 4 Georgia takes on number 2 LSU. Here's Paul Feinbaum from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The number 4 team is going to get blown out in the semifinals, so it really doesn't matter who it is.
And congratulations to Calais Campbell. He's a finalist for the Art Rooney Award. It's an NFL honor presented for the player who has the best sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for the game and opponents, plus integrity and competition. Best of luck, big man. Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. The best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no need to go anywhere else for tires and service.
Hey guys, this is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms. Best Bet's annual Winter Poker Series will be starting on January 17th at our Jacksonville location. With 12 poker events, the Best Bet Winter Poker Series has something for everyone, including the main event featuring an $1,100 buy-in with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Whether you're looking for a low-limit or a high-limit event, the Best Bet annual Winter Poker Series will have a seat for you. This January, experience the best at Best Bet Jacksonville.
When you owe IRS or state sales tax and can't pay, call J. David Tax Law for effective tax help. J. David Tax Law can stop IRS or state collection actions and protect you from financial ruin. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
We love our pets. Our furry little friends mean so much to us that we want nothing but the best. At Forever Vets Animal Hospital, we feel the same way too. Forever Vets Animal Hospital understands that you have busy schedules. That's why we're open 7 days a week and have extended hours during the work week. In case you have an emergency, remember, stay calm and call Forever Vets Animal Hospital with 6 convenient locations throughout Jacksonville and St. Augustine. Forever Vets Animal Hospital is here for you and your pet. First-time customers receive a free pet exam from one of our highly trained veterinarians. We also offer wellness plans that fit everyone's budget. Forever Vets Animal Hospital makes life easy for you and your pet. Go to forevervets.com to schedule an appointment. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets healthy and happy forever.
At Action News Jax, we're here for severe. When storms threaten, put your trust in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Team, led by Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, rated the most accurate for the last 13 years.
The First Alert Weather Team is the only team of certified meteorologists in the Jacksonville area. That means we have the most schooling and training to forecast and predict severe weather. And that experience will keep you safe from a storm.
Action News Jax First Alert Weather on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
For families worried about making ends meet, we are here. For those struggling with depression, we are here. We're also here to protect kids in crisis, assist students, and help our seniors. We're Jewish Family and Community Services, and we've been here offering support to people of every age, race, and religion for more than a century. Jewish Family and Community Services, here for all, here for Jax. Learn more at hereforjax.com.
Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
The only difference between the New York Jets and the New York Giants is I have no problem with Pat Shermer finishing the season before he goes as the head coach of this franchise, because he never should have been a head coach to begin with. And in the case of Adam Gase, he should be going today.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
You know, Coach Marone did a great job, and something I'd never done before, which I'm going to, always put back in my memory bank. He had a great idea of, we gave Gardner extra reps with, practice squad guys and took him through the red zone script and the third down script and those things so we could keep him going. And I thought that was a great idea by Coach Marone. And I know it only sounds little. That was, 8 reps a day, but, that's a decent amount of reps in an NFL practice. So I think he still honed in on his skills while he was number 2.
Well, there it is. That's John DeFilippo, the Jaguars offensive coordinator, talking about something we talked about earlier in the week and just how rare that was for Gardner Minshew to get reps in practice as the backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it's like this new wave, new age stuff like Doug Marone came up with. And it seems so simplistic, but it's just not done. You brought that to our attention. I mean, you said it. You've played it, and this is uncommon. It does not happen in the NFL for a backup QB to get reps in practice and do those extra things. And Doug Marone decided, you know what? We want to continue to grow this kid. He did some good things, and I thought it was a respect level type of thing for what Gardner had done, but also what they had seen from Minshew, the quarterback, and a just in case if we need him again. But John DeFilippo even just backed up what you said earlier in the week. This is very unusual. You don't really even like it that much.
No.
DeFilippo kind of turned it around like, hey, I might use this going forward.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so here's my biggest argument about the whole thing. I get it. You're trying to give the new guy, the young guy reps, and that's great and everything. But when we're talking about going into week 12, week 13, week 14, you're towards the end of the season, the last quarter, the last thing you need to be doing is trying to give guys confidence and bring guys along, because all your energy should go towards beating your next opponent. And when John DeFilippo comes out and says it's, 8 reps here, 8 reps there, and I get it. To the casual fan, 8 reps at practice, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, maybe 15 minutes maximum?
Yeah, he even said that. It's not much.
Yeah, but at the same point, you have to remember with those 15 minutes, those 8 reps or whatever it is, well, someone's got to plan those reps. Someone's got to go over, okay, what routes do we want to run here? What do we want to look at today with Gardner Minshew? Someone's got to be in the scout team defense, telling the defense what to line up in. So there's just this whole orchestra that goes into planning around just these 8 reps every single day. And I just think that instead of orchestrating how to get practice squad reps or practice team reps or backup quarterback reps, you should be orchestrating on how to stop the Los Angeles Chargers. How are you going to shut down Austin Eckler? How are you going to stop Melvin Gordon in the run game? Who's going to take Keenan Allen? Those are the questions that I want answered.
Listen, you live the NFL life, so you know it as a former player. But from my perspective, it's like cramming for an exam in college and not taking a break to go out to dinner or go get a run in or get a workout in or something like that. I mean, you can only do so much in the course of the week to get ready for the LA Chargers or whoever you're playing.
Correct.
So, again, that's where I come at it and be like, dude, it's 15 minutes. I mean, is 15 minutes going to ruin this game for the Jaguars on Sunday? I get your point, and I understand. It's an interesting one from the player perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating, and it's also fascinating that this isn't done very often. I kind of revert back to what Dan Mullen did with the Florida Gators, and he gave them split reps with all three quarterbacks in practices. And I get it's college.
It's college, man.
I get it's college, but it's big-time college. It's important college. It's jobs on the line in college. Quarterback's still an important position in college. And some of that might be because you didn't have a clear number one, I said, with the Gators, right? I mean, so maybe you're allowed to do that a little bit more just in case. But it worked out for Trask when he had to go in there, and maybe that he was a little bit more comfortable, and the team, more importantly, was comfortable with him. So it looks like teams are mixing it up and some are doing it. And maybe now that this has been brought to everybody's attention, maybe people will come out of the woodwork on it and say, hey, this is a common thing. Like Urban Meyer did at Ohio State. That's why they did it. Maybe other NFL teams do it, and we just don't know about it. But it does sound unusual.
And listen, I understand you said, you can only do so much in the allotment of time that you get to practice, for the Chargers coming up. I understand that, or to practice, for your last opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But based on the last 4 games, hey, do more. do more to prepare.
Yeah,
I'm being serious.
No, you're right.
Don't worry about the backup quarterback. Hey, do more to prepare for your opponent because obviously it hasn't been enough. So go ahead and do more.
Yeah, I get it. But that's like saying, hey, if Gardner Minshew wants to come to this concert tonight, he shouldn't be here because he should be studying for Sunday's game.
Brent, but that's completely different, man, because you're talking about practice time allotted to prepare for your opponent, and then you're talking when you're out of the stadium and it's a free time. I'm just saying like that.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to over-dramatize it a little bit.
That's fine,
I just want to see if Minshew was coming to the Lee Bryce concert tonight. Really.
No, it's all
here
good,
at
man.
TopGolf. That's it.
We can go back and forth,
and
man.
He might.
We get the script going on here between me and you.
You never know. I mean, he might be here. Who knows?
Dude, we got some pyrotechnics going on out there?
That's a real deal concert.
There's some smoke, here at TopGolf. Okay.
Again, TopGolf.com/Jacksonville for tickets. Lee Bryce, Cassidy Pope starts at 7 o'clock tonight. We're hanging out here at TopGolf on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Minshew. Yeah. What does he have to do? What are your expectations now? He takes over the reins. He can't come in and give you the lift because he's already going to start and hopefully add some juice right off the top. It's not going to have that dynamic of a dead stadium in the first half with Foles, and then, bam, it comes to life in the second half. Well, that doesn't happen. But how much juice will the players have? How much productivity will the offense have in general on Sunday? And what does he have to do to kind of convince you that, hey, this is a good move. This is a right move by Doug Marrone.
Yeah, to me, he just has to keep on growing. I don't need him to come out and throw 4 touchdowns and have a perfect quarterback rating. All I need him to do is be consistent, not turn the ball over, and show that, he can make good decisions. You're facing a Los Angeles Chargers team here who, if you look at them top to bottom on defense, they're supposed to be legit. They're getting healthy again. They have great pass rushers. They have a good secondary, great corners. Casey Hayward's back. He's playing well. But if you watch that Broncos game last week, they were struggling a little bit, So I think you're going to have a Los Angeles Chargers team here who's obviously underachieving the entire season. Talk about underachieving with the Jaguars. Chargers kind of in the same boat right now. And they're looking to get a win. And I get it. You're coming from the West Coast to the East Coast, so advantage Jaguars there. But keep in mind, you have Gus Bradley, who obviously I think wants a little blood, wants a little, I'm going to kind of stick it to the Jaguars a little bit. So you can expect a good defensive effort, I think, from the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think it's going to be a great test for Gardner Minshew. So with that being said, I think Minshew's got to sustain. He's got to be able to produce against a pretty good Los Angeles Chargers defense.
Yeah, I think this defense is good. Does it help at all that he goes against this kind of scheme in practice all the time? It's not the only scheme in the NFL, so you play it multiple times. But actually, I don't think they've played it a lot. They'll play Atlanta, who plays this scheme. They haven't played this scheme a lot. So Minshew, I'm trying to remember here quick, rolling off some of the teams they played, but I don't think he's played this scheme here in the NFL, but he does see it in practice all the time.
Sure.
Will that help him?
Well, yes and no. Like, okay, you're acquainted to the scheme, but at the same time now, the way the NFL is ran on defense, Brent, like, sure, it's maybe the same philosophy, but there's so many more nuances to each team that some of the things that he saw in practice, preparing, he's not going to see in the game on Sunday. It's going to be completely different.
All right, for me, by the way, Gardner Minshew, I think he has to show growth in areas where he struggled in the first half of the year. Take away last week's game. You can even take away the London game, but I don't even think you can. Mm-hmm. I think I want to see the third down completion percentage or third down percentage as an offense, which means you're moving it and putting yourself in manageable positions. The red zone, that will be a big one for me. Can they figure out the red zone, and can Minshew figure out the red zone? And one last thing, hang on to the football, man. Because I'm telling you, if he keeps fumbling, that's not going to be a good narrative going into the offseason. It's going to be a major concern. You get labeled in a hurry in the NFL. You get labeled as a quarterback. And right now, while this guy's fun and running around and this is a great vibe, people sooner or later are going to go to those turnovers if they continue to pile up. I think the last month of this season, if they can keep the football and he can hang on to the football, I think that will be a big thing for Gardner Minshew moving forward into 2020. We'll see if he's able to do it. We're not done from TopGolf. We've got a couple more hours to go. In fact, come on out. Join us tonight. Lee Brice, Cassidy Pope concert. You can get your tickets, topgolf.com. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Golick and Wingo.
Aaron Rodgers, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, is a but how spectacular Aaron Rodgers was able to be. I mean, all we're going to remember is that freak show throw to Aaron Jones in the end zone. I don't know if it was a throwaway or not, but what it was magic. Aaron Rodgers looks like 2 straight weeks now. He's in the flow with Matt LaFleur. But if you're the Chiefs, you got to say to yourselves, we had every opportunity to win this game with our backup quarterback. That defense let him down.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the law office of Anajar & Levine. Falls can be embarrassing. Your first reaction might be to get up, but always make sure to check yourself for any injuries. Examine your surroundings to see what caused you to fall. Take pictures if possible, and call the manager to make a formal report. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville.
We're local, you're local, shop local. This holiday season, shop local retailers right here in the 904.
When you shop local retailers, you're making an investment in our own community.
Shop the 904.
Powered by Cox Media Group.
Hey, boss, I could sure use some cheering up. Hey, do one of your holiday poems for me, would you?
All right, how about this one? 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the town, Safe Touch was gone. They were nowhere to be found.
Oh, I like it already.
The do-it-yourself alarms, just as simple as pie, claim to be good, but crooks know it's a lie.
Yeah, we do.
No more stressing about Safe Touch's response guarantee, 'cause the do-it-yourself alarms don't have one, you see?
Do-it-yourself alarms have no response guarantee?
And that's why it's plain to see that the Crooks Are Us rule reminds us every day staying away from Safe Touch houses is the price we gotta pay.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you gotta go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Corolla? It's not $16,995. Now it's only $12,481. That's $12,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla at Arlington. Gotta have a 2019 Toyota Tacoma? It's not $24,575. No way. Now it's just $28,991. Just $28,991 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Tacoma at Arlington. Plus, you're going to get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyotathon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
If you're buying diamond jewelry this holiday season and you haven't shopped Beard's Diamonds yet,
stop before you pay too much.
Now through Christmas, you'll save an extra 20% off Beard's already guaranteed low prices.
In the St. Johnstown Center.
Or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Action Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
If there was an award you can give a guy that has the fastest get off in the NFL, I would be campaigning for that award for Marcel Darius. It's not only the first step, Brent, it's also the hand placement.
Catch Brett and Austin weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Now, back to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and on your smart speaker.
Unfortunately, we had to make the change, first off. But fortunately, if you had to make the change, at least you had almost 8 games with the guy that was coming in. So you know what he's good at, and kind of, how he handles himself in the huddle and with the team and on the sidelines and those things. So you never want to make that change, ever, especially mid-game. But if you have to, and you're in that situation, at least you know what you're getting, more so with the second-team quarterback.
That's John DeFilippo once again, Jaguars offensive coordinator, and boy, at this stage it looks like it might be a one-and-done type of year for DeFilippo, this entire staff, maybe the entire regime. Well, it hasn't been one and done for them, but it could be done for all of them. Down at Jags headquarters, and a lot of stuff as you enter December. I think the walls are talking down at Jags headquarters. It's just the way it goes when you've lost 4 in a row. I just said to you actually in the commercial break, it's amazing how streaky the Jaguars have been. And it's amazing how streaky Doug Marrone's teams have been if you go back to his tenure here in Jacksonville. They were on a ride that was fun in 17. They went on a slump that was miserable in 18. And here we are now after the 2. It's 4 straight losses, and not so good. So could be the beginning of the end for the entire staff. And I don't know why that is in terms of the streaky nature of it. I don't know. Once you get rocking, I mean, I get when you roll off 7 out of 8. When you feel good about yourself. When you're the Ravens and doing what they're doing. When you're some of these other teams, the Packers maybe, and you first of all you're pretty good, and secondly the breaks are going your way, and also you feel good, you feel better, but in the NFL, to see a team do what the Jags have done in the last 4 weeks is so unheard of. 4 straight losses of 17-plus points. Again, it's worth repeating. It's only happened 3 times this decade. The Jaguars this year, the Miami Dolphins to start this year, but look how they've even corrected themselves.
A little bit.
And the Jaguars did it in 2014. So the Jaguars are guilty of 2 of these streaks out of the 3 in this decade. That will tell you how bad it's been around here at times. But I just don't get it. Usually, and there's enough leadership on that team with Foles and Calais Campbell and guys that have now played around the league and had success and maybe not success to yank yourself right out of that. And they just haven't been able to find a way, which I guess speaks to not being very good. But in this league, even if you're not very good, you usually compete better than what their scoreboard has shown.
I think it's a combination of obviously the personnel that they have on their roster and the talent, but also maybe a little bit of the leadership as well of just – because let's be honest, 2017 they were streaky in a good way. 2018 streaky in a bad way. This year streaky in a bad way. And when it goes bad, we've talked about it before, it snowballs. When it goes good, it's contagious and people want to keep the train rolling. So from that perspective, I guess I would say it's got to fall on some of the guys in the locker room. I mean, it has to, obviously. They're the football players.
All of them.
Yeah, but I think it's got to come with a little bit of leadership, too, of saying, hey, this is not good, and someone's got to come on board and just be like, this is not good, here's how we correct it, And that's a hard thing to do in a locker room, Brent, because you have so many different kind of egos, so many different kind of philosophies that you kind of have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, right? Where if one's not going to lead, well, then maybe you have 4 or 5 leaders, but they're all leading in a different kind of way. They're leading in different directions. So I agree with you. I think when you're losing everything and those streaks start to implement, I think it has to do with leadership.
Well, the bottom line is they've had miserable quarterback play in all 4 of those games. So there's no different than last year in that respect. Yeah. There's no different than the early Blake Bortles years in that respect. Yes, Minshew has been good at times, but he was miserable in that Houston game, and Nick Foles has been bad in the other games. So, I mean, I guess it starts there. It's really easily something to explain because the quarterback play has not been good. Let's do a little balling and falling. We haven't done balling and falling like this entire week.
Let me go back to the archives, man.
I'm going to do a quick balling as Tiger Woods, by the way. He's 11 under par, 2 shots off the lead in the Bahamas. So
way to reach out of your comfort zone, Brett.
I know. Anytime I can see, this is like fresh. This is breaking. This is new. Tiger just finished, and he's 2 shots off the lead. So anytime I got Ty texting me about Tiger, and I'm excited about Tiger. But, well, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
I should also say ballin' should also be you.
Ah.
Because Kuz, what was the finish? Let's play this out. How did it end yesterday for Austin at the poker tournament?
And here we go. Austin picks up a suited ace. Not going to see much better shorthanded for something to go all in with. He moves all in. Ron with 8-5 of diamonds. He calls. Ron has a pair of fives. Cut shot for the 8-high straight. And he decides to move all in with the pair and the straight draw. So Austin all in and at risk. Ron with the better hand currently. Austin looking for a deuce, running diamonds. 4 clubs is a blank. Either a deuce or an ace here on the river to stay alive. Not a six. So jack of clubs on the river. That's going to eliminate Austin.
$250, I think, right? Donated back to charity. Very nice of you.
Well, yeah, man.
You could have taken that home.
Well, I was playing for free, so it's for a good cause as well. So that was kind of a no-brainer. But yeah, I ended up getting third place, man. It was a cool experience. Like I was telling you when we got here, man, I hadn't played poker in a while, and I enjoyed playing it in Wisconsin when growing up. So I kind of got that itch again to go back out there and play some more.
Now, I didn't understand anything that just happened there. And by the way, I did just learn that poker on the radio would not work.
No, probably not really. I think it kind of helps having the video element to it as well.
It would not work.
Yeah.
But did you make a mistake or get unlucky right there?
No, I mean, what happened basically was I think Mark K wanted to get home. So the blinds, as they call them, they were raised a little bit. I was a short stack, so I had to go all in at some point because I was bleeding chips basically. And I went all in with a decent hand. I had ace deuce suited, and my opponent, he had 8-5. So I kind of it's probably about a 50-50 on who would win that, and he got lucky there. So it is what it is.
You got balling real quick before we go to break?
I got balling, man. So this is did you watch the National Dog Show during Thanksgiving break?
Oh, my gosh.
Wait a second.
No.
What do you mean, oh, my gosh, man?
Are we going to the National Dog Show?
We're going to the National Dog Show, man. I'm bringing up Thor, not the god of lightning, not the god of thunder. I'm talking about Thor, the American Bulldog who won Best in Show. This very good boy was praised for being a little on the chunky side, good posture, and great manners, and he won Best in Show. Dude, did you watch him or not?
No, I did not.
He was like the Tony.
I'm not lying. I did not watch the damn dog show.
He was like the Tony Siragusa of like American Bulldogs, man. He was a little porker, but he was awesome, man. He won the whole
Jason
thing.
Fitz before he stopped eating pie.
There we go. I was wondering where we're going with that one, but yeah, man.
Pie or cake for the Bulldogs.
Exactly. But he was obviously a fan favorite. American Bulldog wins the National Dog Show, so props out to Thor.
That's ballin'. We'll have some following, including breaking news out of the NBA right after this on ESPN 690. Trust, tradition, and quality. A winning combination to feel good about your home. Sometimes it's just that time to replace your roof. Or maybe you need to fix your roof after a recent storm. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau of Action Sports Jacks. And there are so many roofing companies in the area. But which one can you trust? Let me tell you about my friends at Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company. Trust a family-owned business with owners that grew up right here in Jacksonville. Talk to the owners directly. Get free estimates. And you can trust Jack C. Wilson Roofing to walk you through each step of the process. Tradition? Jack C. Wilson is a name you know. The longest-standing roofing company in Northeast Florida. They have been repairing and replacing asphalt shingle roofs since 1946. How about quality? A roof you will tell your neighbors about. Quality from start to finish, shingle by shingle. You can request a free estimate at jackcwilsonroofing.com. It's the first name in Jacksonville roofing. And make sure you let them know Brent Martineau sent you. The holidays are on the horizon. That means family and food. Hey, everybody, I'm Brent Martineau. Let Renna's Pizza help you out. Parties at school, parties at work, celebrations, or maybe you're just tired of cooking yourself. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Want a fresh one? Renna's makes everything fresh. New York-style pizza, sandwiches, salads, and pasta dishes. Everything fresh. Find out why Renna's has been a family favorite for over 40 years. 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach.
Before I got married, my dad told me, happy wife, happy life.
Really? Mine told me, get her bling, you'll be king.
That man's a genius.
Your JCPenney associate will help you find something that sparkles as much as she does. Shop select fine jewelry up to 60% off. Plus, save an extra 40% with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. JCPenney Rewards members get select diamond jewelry for just $25. JCPenney. Offers valid 12/5 to 12/11. Credit offer subject to credit approval. $25 diamond jewelry excluded from coupon. Other exclusions apply. See jcp.com for coupon and details.
The Home Depot is giving Santa's Workshop a run for its money with free power tools from top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, Rigid, Ryobi, and Makita. Buy a select power tool or battery kit from any one of these trusted brands and get another select tool from the same brand free. Even Santa can't beat that. Free select power tools from top brands, only from the Home Depot Gift Center. More saving, more doing. Valid through February 2nd while supplies last.
As you know by now, I love the wings at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey, everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You'll love them, too, and you have to try the wings. But Mr. Chubby's has a full menu. Parents, kids, and sports teams, this is made for you. The American Dream Special. Burgers, fries, and a famous Mr. Chubby shake for just $12.99. The American Dream Special. I suggest throwing in some wings, too, especially the Maple Cajun. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. Chub it up at the place to be, Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
John Ryder, breaking NBA news. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Knicks have fired head coach David Fizdale. New York has lost 8 straight. They're in East worst, 4-18. NFL, the Cowboys are reeling, losers of 3 straight, now 6-7 overall after a 31-24 loss to the Bears last night. Dallas running back Ezekiel Elliott somewhat lost for words on the team's offense.
I mean, second drive, had an explosive play, didn't convert the third down, didn't make the field goal, and after that, I don't know.
And today, Cowboys team owner and GM Jerry Jones told 105.3 The Fan in Dallas that he deserves share of the blame for the team's losing streak. Also cursed twice during the interview that was cut off midway through. Golf, 3rd round of the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. Jam-packed leaderboard, Henrik Stenson and Patrick Reed tied for the lead at 12 under. Tiger Woods in the clubhouse. He's 1 shot back. He shot a 67 today. Justin Thomas and Gary Woodland were also just 1 shot back.
Worried about finding the perfect gift this holiday? We've got you covered, because when you give the gift of Peloton, you're giving the gift they're guaranteed to love with efficient, high-intensity cardio workouts right at home all year long. For more details, see onepeloton.com.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Obviously not the outcome that we wanted on Sunday. We need to start faster. We need to coach better. We need to play better. And we have the opportunity to do that again this Sunday, against a really good defense. And, their record is what it is, just like ours, but they're playing very, very well on defense right now. So we have our hands full. They have 2 great edge rushers and a lot of, very good secondary, good linebackers. So another challenge for us this week, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Everybody's good, it seems like, in the NFL, especially when you're prepping for them, because, when you prep for them, you find everything that's good about them, right? Yeah. Fans and everybody else find everything that's bad about them.
Yeah.
You find what's good about them when you're in the building
Yeah.
and what they do so well. And that's John DeFilippo right there talking about the Chargers defense. Gus Bradley comes back to Jacksonville bringing it.
Yeah, did you hear what Todd Walsh was saying about Philip Rivers? Kind of the same things that we echoed a little bit. I guess
it's funny the coaches know it so well. I mean, because it's not like he's out on the field, but he still hears the yapping over the years.
Well, and I don't know if the casual fans know or not, but the guy just doesn't swear. Like he must have been like a nightmare at like vacation Bible camp, right? Like if you're playing like a game or something and like you're so competitive, because obviously he's competitive, but he's not cussing, I'm sure he was an absolute nightmare.
I've heard he's a super guy.
For sure.
Once in a while, I'll talk to Gus Bradley still, and he knows him really well, spends a lot of time with him and over these years in L.A., and says he's a great guy, fantastic guy. So, but it is, I love the turning on and off. It's one of the things that fascinates me about NFL players is the ability to turn on and off.
Yeah.
In the white lines, and he is another example of that.
Sure.
Except he doesn't take it to the rated R level.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
a lot of guys do take it to.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. And unfortunately, I feel like the guys that don't have a lot of success are the guys that kind of fizzle out right away or have problems off the field. they can't turn it off.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And that's the case for some guys.
That's the other side of it,
It
right?
is.
And it's not easy. I think that's a delicate balance right
Yeah.
there. I don't think we all could do that. I think the people that can do it, I'm very impressed with, and they do it on and off the field. It's tougher than we think it is. I think we want everybody to be robotic in that sense, but I don't think it's an easy thing. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, we're at TopGolf. Country concert coming up tonight. This is really strange for me because I've been to TopGolf a ton of times. We're here every Monday with Jags Report Live, 7 o'clock on CBS 47. But it's always packed here, right? I mean, TopGolf's a busy place.
Yeah.
Well, I came in today to set up the show around 2:30, and it's like empty.
Yep.
And now the place is starting to buzz because a lot of people are getting ready for the concert, and now they're doing music, sound checks, and building the stage and building everything else around it. So really a cool atmosphere here at TopGolf. Lee Bryce, Cassidy Pope, come on out. Tickets still available, topgolf.com/Jacksonville. All right, we were balling and falling.
Sure.
Let's get to the falling part. By the way, one update on my balling. Tiger now just one shot off the lead, 3 rounds in because Henrik Stenson bogeyed a hole. As for the fallen, I say we go to maybe Kuz not winning.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up because my fallen, it's Kuz at the poker night, but it's not because of his place where he finished. Because I think, Kuz, what'd you finish at, like 20?
I'd probably say like 20, 25,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, let's
Sounds
be
about
honest.
right, Kuz.
You weren't going to beat me. We established that a while ago.
When we were at the table together, who was dominating?
Kuz was dominating, and this is where the falling comes in. So Kuz ended up knocking out like 4 or 5 people at our table, and we were at the ape table basically. So it's a bunch of people and then like the wives from the ape staff, right? So Kuz knocked out about 4 of them, got a big chip lead, and was not humble, was not gracious. To echo some of the things that the lady was saying next to me, he's an a-hole.
Whoa.
I'm not going to listen to your show.
Whoa.
I
Kuz, come on,
can't
man.
stand him.
Play for the name on your chest.
And that's what I'm saying.
Hey, they were saying I was being mean. I apologized every time.
Said he was being very mean, and like obviously, you know me, Brent. I said it when we had this show yesterday. I'm going to represent the ESPN 690 brand. I'm going to do well in the tournament. I did. I'm going to act like a gentleman. I did. And like even the lady said, you know what? You're a nice counterbalance to Kuz, but he's kind of the mean one, and you're the nice, well-behaved one. So I'll take that to heart.
I bet she didn't stereotype that way.
Oh, speaking of stereotyping, dude. Speaking of stereotyping, get this. And I'm about to make you real proud right here, Brent. So I'm sitting next to this lady, and we're talking or whatever. She's new at poker, so I'm trying to help her out a little bit. And we get into the conversation about country music. And I go, so what country music you into? She goes, Florida Georgia Line off the bat. I go, I'm just like, country music, huh? And she's like, got a problem with Florida Georgia Line?
I should have sat next to her.
Yeah, and I go, it's not my thing. She's like, oh, well, what's your thing in country music? I go, glad you asked. I go, I'm talking old school like Alan Jackson. I'm talking, Garth Brooks. I'm talking Kenny Chesney of the old. I'm talking, Montgomery Gentry, R.I.P. by the way. I'm talking those guys. And like I kind of threw off her game a little bit because I'm like, oh, don't act like I don't listen to country music too, miss. Like,
you didn't even throw Casey Musgraves at her?
No, because I was going to old school country.
And you just wanted to show off.
I was trying to show off my
knowledge.
chops a little bit. Yeah.
By the way, you got Ronan. How old's Ronan?
He's 4. Yeah.
So I know you don't listen to a lot of country music, but Lee Bryce has a song named Boy.
Okay.
You never heard that?
Nope.
Really good.
Okay.
Good. Like if you're a dad.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Okay.
So
I'll check it out.
It's really cool. So
I'll check it
I'm
out.
hoping he will play that one tonight. Kuz, do we have you getting kicked off the table last night?
We got a couple pocket pairs. Paul with pocket 6s, but Nick right behind with the short stack moves all in. Pocket 5. And right behind, we've got Justin, one of the bounties here. He's in it to win it all in with pocket 7s. Rory with, oh my goodness, pocket aces. What a hand. He moves all in. There's a lot going on here. 9-8 Trey. Aces are still good. Mackey does have a pair of 9s. Does not happen. Pocket aces hold up. And with that, Mackey is eliminated. Nick is eliminated. Justin eliminated. Justin was one of the bounties. We'll find out what that bounty was in just a second. Just like that, we've got a new chip leader here on this feature table.
I'll tell you what.
Hate to see it.
Those aces, man, that was like Shad Khan. He just clean sweep.
To be fair, the other part I was telling Austin, what he didn't hear is Austin was on another table and had gone all in, and so I thought he was about to get knocked out, so I went all in because I knew I was close.
And here's the thing, too, Brent. So Kuz, at that point of the night, was at the main table. And Was it due to skill level or randomness? I think more randomness.
Hey, it's because I was destroying you guys at the other table.
I think more randomness, but whatever it was, I was on the smaller table and Kuz was at the big table, so I was a little upset about it. And obviously we kind of had a back and forth during the show. So actually, I had some spies working for me. They were keeping kind of tabs on Kuz a little bit to see where his chip count was, and I kind of played my strategy off that.
I like it.
Yeah.
You had one guy to beat the whole night, and you did it.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
once
much.
again, congratulations to Mark K and
That's the
K's
most important
kids. And
part,
dreams come true. $18,000 raised last night. Really good to help the kids around the holidays. Dreams come true. Fantastic organization. So nice job by Mark, WOKV, WAPE. Good to be a little small part of it with you guys there and supporting it in our show yesterday at Best Bet Jacksonville. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again. Kuz, let's bring you back into the fold here for some real fallen. And that is the New York Knicks have made a move, huh?
Yeah, they fired their head coach, David Fitzdale. So
that was never going to work, right?
Well, I mean, they just got to give them. I mean, I guess, but like the problem is, like, I don't think that's their main problem in New York.
Well, it isn't. I mean, if you could fire Dolan, then that would be a better deal. You know, and here's the deal. Okay, so the Knicks are a mess, and everybody knows it. And the Knicks have been a mess for decades. But what's fascinating to me is if you look at it's almost like the Knicks haven't even been trying. It feels like they haven't. Whatever they're doing is just so wrong. And I think its ownership is so involved. I think ownership around here has been criticized at times from being detached. But if you look at the Knicks, who ownership's so involved, and then you look at the Dallas Cowboys, where ownership, GM, so involved, and you think about those two organizations in the NBA. I mean, there's the Lakers, there's the Celtics, there's the Knicks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not
as far as no,
but that's like those are the big three.
Yeah. I would argue that the Bulls as well a little bit. As
well,
far
that
as
was
the
later,
city.
though.
But
I'm talking about.
Later,
I mean, I know Michael put them there, but if you go back in history, it wasn't the Bulls.
Sure. Okay.
So
I agree with you.
In the NFL, it's the Packers, it's the Steelers, it's the Giants, it's the Cowboys, right? And I mean, heck, you could throw the Raiders in there. There's probably 6 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
But so you take those two organizations, the NBA, and I'm sure we could go all the way across the board and say this about a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But the Dallas Cowboys, they have, I think, one playoff win in this decade.
Yeah.
I think it's one. I know the Jags have more than them. I know that.
Okay.
And the Knicks have just been atrocious. And it's like, why can't they get it right? Now, the Knicks don't have the parts. They've tried, but they're just a mess.
Yeah.
At least Jerry Jones has given them the parts in Dallas. But last night was this great illustration of, Troy Aikman said it best. You have the number 1 offense in the NFL. You have a top 10 defense in the NFL. And you're 6-7.
Yeah.
What does that say about either ownership? Yes, it probably says something about coaching, but it's got to say something about your organization. When you have those kind of statistics, meaning you have those kind of players, and you still can't be better than 6-7, it also punctuates how hard it is to win in the NFL. Because if I've got the top offense and a top 10 defense, and I'm still just 6-7, it's hard to win in the NFL.
So the difference between the Cowboys and the Knicks, yes, the Cowboys are trying to win. I mean, Jerry Jones is very adamant about winning. Now, I don't know if James Dolan feels the same way. James Dolan has found himself on my Pump Your Brakes segment at least like 3 times. He's been on my Fallen segment as well. The guy's just naive. And I think the biggest problem right now with the New York Knicks and the NBA is the fact that they're arrogant and they're entitled. And when I say those two things, I mean it like this. There was a time, Brent, back maybe in the 90s, early 2000s, where being a Knick meant something, right? It still had that cachet. It had that physicality. Like, players were intrigued to go to play for the New York Knicks. You know, like, I mean, it's in the middle of New York.
It's New York, man. It's Madison Square Garden.
It's in the mecca of the media and everything. Like, players were intrigued. Well, it's 2019 now, and nobody cares anymore. And that was the problem this year with, them trying to coax free agents to come to play for New York. Like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. The belief was, well, of course they're going to come play for the Knicks because you know why? We're the Knicks. Like, we're the story franchise. We're Madison Square Garden. We got it all. No, you don't. Madison Square Garden is an old arena, and players don't really care about that. And the Knicks, I get it, are a story franchise, but what have you done for me lately? No one cares about the New York Knicks anymore. So you have to bring something more to the table to try to, coax these free agents, these star players to come play for you just to say, oh, yeah, we're the Knicks, come play for us. Because nobody cares anymore.
Well, and now these kids that have all grown up, the Knicks have been nothing. Like they've been nothing. I mean, they're a zero organization in terms of if you're a 25-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Or a young man.
Yeah.
You know? It's not like, I can't wait to go play. You got to really Google now if you want to see when the Knicks were good.
Sure.
I mean, this doesn't carry that cachet. Now, I'll say this about Dallas. Jerry Jones has delivered on some players. He's tried at different spots. He's got the building. They built Jerry's World.
Sure.
So he's got all these things where he's tried. But what's the disconnect? And is it just simply Jason Garrett? I don't buy it. It's just that. Now, that's getting a little bit stale. There's not even a pulse on the sideline, it seems like, half the time. But I really believe, I think Jerry Jones screwed this up a few weeks ago when he called out this team after the Patriots game. I think I said to you yesterday, if you're going to call out the team, call them out after they lose to the Jets. Anybody lose to the Patriots, you can't sit there and rip your coaching staff and praise the Patriots right after. It's the Patriots.
Yeah.
Again, I say you got to throw them out of the equation every time you're trying to do a comp. You just can't. And so now he's really ruffled these guys. And I just think he almost sent the message to the players that don't worry about this guy. He's not going to be around that much longer. You don't have to worry about playing hard for him. And it feels like that's trickled down to the field. And I know that's not like matter of fact, but there's a subconscious about that when you kind of know your coach is not going to make it. Well, you probably tune them out a little bit. If you have a teacher in school and you know they're only hanging around for the first semester, not the second semester, or maybe a few more weeks, I mean, you're probably tuning them out a little bit, right?
No,
I mean, so
without a doubt.
It's like having the substitute. I mean, they're not going to lock in and get the – so I think Jerry did that to his football team. That sounds really elementary, but I think he did. I think I put the blame on Jerry Jones for what happened to the Dallas Cowboys. They are too good from a talent standpoint to look this bad 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's take the Cowboys brand out of it quick. Let's just talk about Jerry Jones. And, like, to me, man, it's – I don't know, because a part of me wants to say, well, Jerry Jones talks so much, and it's hard. Like, look at what Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott wasn't a fan when your owner comes out and says, Zeke who? No, he was joking, but Elliott didn't think that was very funny. No. You know, and then that kind of had a little controversy. And then Jerry Jones comes out and speaks about, Garrett and everything. And, yeah, ever since that point, the Cowboys have been playing below par. But at the same time, as a player, I feel like, well, sometimes maybe you like that just because he isn't so in tune with the NFL game. Like he is in tune to the sport of football where if you have someone that's trying to, recruit you or bring you in as a free agent, like maybe you want to go to the team that's got the owner who's so passionate about football, who has his kind of his hands on everything. I really don't know what to think about it. A part of me thinks that Jerry Jones talks way too much and he gets himself in trouble. But the other part of me thinks, well, I think players sometimes embrace that because it shows that the guy wants to win.
I think overall, I don't dismiss your point. I'm saying the timing of this one was ill-timed.
Oh, and I completely
and it's
agree
really
with you.
impacted.
Well, look at how they're playing now. You're absolutely right.
It has impacted this football team.
Yeah,
clear as day, in my opinion. It has certainly impacted their football team. Two quick thoughts about that game last night, by the way. Jalen Smith. Boy, he does a great job in coverage.
Yeah.
I mean, he made everything tough. I thought he was really good. And right now he's looking like the better signing than Miles Jack, the better draft pick overall. And that was an interesting one to watch because they both had issues. They had to be a little bit more patient with Jalen Smith. They rewarded them earlier. But it seems like he's playing. I saw 54 all over the field yesterday.
Oh, he was everywhere, yeah.
And I don't know how he's played all season. I'm just saying that game last night, I saw him all over the field. And it was tough to find number 44 here in Jacksonville a lot of times this season.
I think Jalen Smith's playing in position. Just going to say that much.
Very nice. Very good call.
You already know how I feel about it, Brent.
One other thing. A quarterback can play bad, and I think maybe even cost himself money, all those things. And Dak Prescott, I think, needs to play better and do better things. But holy cats, was that a gorgeous throw on that touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, that was a beautiful throw. I mean, you might not find a better throw. He dropped that thing right in the bucket for Amari Cooper. That was absolute. I could watch that on replay like 50 times. He did a lot of things wrong. I think he is costing himself money, although we'll see how much. It's probably just a matter of a few $1 million maybe because quarterbacks are going to get paid and they're going to stick with him. But it makes you think a little bit about him. But that was such a gorgeous throw.
Yeah, see, Dak he's kind of an enigma right now because towards the start of the season, Brent, he's a $100 million man. You absolutely got to pay him that
$35 million a year.
Yeah, because the guy's legit. But now, like, towards the latter part, and you kind of brought up a great point of his ability. Like, he's an athlete, man. The guy can run, and he doesn't look to run all the time. And I think a part of that is a little bit of the ego. I think even Jackson from the Ravens has it, where they want to pass first and run second.
Yeah,
They
don't want to be labeled that way.
They want to be considered just true quarterbacks. So I get that point. But, yeah, with Dak Prescott, like he shows these glimpses of where he is the man. He can make any throw in the book. But then there's some times where he's lackadaisical and just he doesn't, make good decisions. So from the standpoint of, paying him, it's quite the conundrum.
Well, I think here's the deal. When you're in a streak like this and you're playing bad football and you need to win games and they're must-win games, I feel like you've got to lean on a quarterback. You're Dak Prescott. One of his great intangibles is supposed to be leadership.
True.
Well, he looks like his body language is not very good.
Yeah.
They're not very good. They've got problems on the sideline. I've got to pin that a little bit on the quarterback. I mean, I don't care if he's throwing dimes or not.
Yeah.
You still pin that on the quarterback to a degree, and I think Dak Prescott has to shoulder some of that right now. And he's not playing great. I mean, he's had these up and downs. Like, he's had 444-yard games, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. But then he's had these other games where they just disappear on offense.
And keep in mind who he has around him. He has a pretty good offensive line. He's got a very fantastic running game. So, got
Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And he's got even Jason Witten as a security blanket. I know he's not young Jason Witten, but he's still somebody who can play.
Yeah, exactly. So you have all these tools at your disposal, so you're set up to succeed. And with Dak Prescott, sometimes he's succeeding, and sometimes he's just, who is this guy?
The ultimate pillow fight right now in the NFC East. Losing record could win. The Washington Redskins are not even out of it in that division. All right, there was another player from last night that sparked some conversation on social media, and we'll get to that when we come back. We're going to take a break from TopGolf here in Jacksonville. Country concert tonight. Get your tickets. Lee Bryce, Cassidy Pope. It's at 7 o'clock tonight. Doors open at 6. TopGolf.com. We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Oh, did the Jaguars miss Allen Robinson? Did they make a mistake? We'll switch over to that conversation next.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. It's conference championship weekend in college football with a full slate of games that will not only determine the conference champs, but also shape the playoffs. In the ACC, number 23 Virginia takes on number 3 Clemson, and in the SEC, number 4 Georgia takes on number 2 LSU. Here's Paul Feinbaum from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The number 4 team is going to get blown out in the semifinals, so it really doesn't matter who it is.
And congratulations to Calais Campbell. He's a finalist for the Art Rooney Award. It's an NFL honor presented for the player who has the best sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for the game and opponents, plus integrity and competition. Best of luck, big man. Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. The best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no need to go anywhere else for tires and service.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mix of clouds and sun today. Mild afternoon temperatures reach the low 70s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now through December 24th, you get 20% off everything in the store, including loose diamonds, only at Beard's Diamonds.
New flavors and a rating that would make Madden jealous. Hey, everyone, this is Austin Lane.
And I'm Brett Martineau. Vita de Louis recently got a 98 rating. It's new, and it's getting rave reviews.
Made in Tequila, Mexico, and shipped directly to Jack's Beach. Vita de Louis is available in 3 flavors.
And those flavors are Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Try all 3. Make your own recipes with Vita de Louis Tequila, one of the smoothest tequilas you will ever taste. For merchandise and more, visit VitaDeLouis.com.
The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you got to go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Camry? It's not $19,745. Now it's only $15,581. That's $15,581 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Camry at Arlington. Got to have a 2019 Toyota RAV4? It's not $22,925. No way. Now it's just $19,481. Just $19,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota RAV4 XLE at Arlington. Plus, you're going to get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyotathon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Hey guys, this is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms. Best Bet's annual Winter Poker Series will be starting on January 17th at our Jacksonville location. With 12 poker events, the Best Bet Winter Poker Series has something for everyone, including the main event featuring an $1,100 buy-in with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Whether you're looking for a low-limit or a high-limit event, the Best Bet annual Winter Poker Series will have a seat for you this January. Experience the best at Best Bet Jacksonville.
When you owe IRS or state sales tax and can't pay, call J. David Tax Law for effective tax help. J. David Tax Law can stop IRS or state collection actions and protect you from financial ruin. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Mark Anajar from the Law Office of Anajar & Levine. Notifying the police is always a good idea. They can assist in documenting the accident and being a good source of information. Always put your health first and get medical attention if necessary. Take pictures if possible. If you've been in an accident, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick & Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. Clearly, it's because I'm on every morning from 6 till 10 a.m. But this isn't about me. It's about your business. Get your business noticed today. First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get on our team than right now. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Did you know that Florida residents with hearing loss are able to receive free amplified telephone equipment through a nationwide nonprofit agency? The telephone equipment provides users the ability to hear conversations loud and clear and is available free for residents. Equipment works with both home phones as well as cellular devices. There are multiple distribution sites throughout the Jacksonville area, and those that are interested should contact the area program coordinator at 407-710-0770. That's 407-710-0770.
Fact: about half of all men will experience ED or PE. Fact: both ED and PE are highly treatable. Fact: a safe, effective treatment is just a call away. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our highly skilled doctors guarantee results on your first visit, or there's no charge. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, the treatments at Prime Men's Medical Center work immediately, regardless of your age or medical history. You'll receive custom blended medications designed just for you. They're safe and effective with no pain and no surgery. Patients are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, the treatments are affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom, schedule a private consultation with the experienced physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
As you know by now, I love the wings at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey, everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You'll love them, too, and you have to try the wings. But Mr. Chubby's has a full menu. Parents, kids, and sports teams, this is made for you. The American Dream Special. Burgers, fries, and a famous Mr. Chubby shake for just $12.99. The American Dream Special. I suggest throwing in some wings, too, especially the Maple Cajun. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. Chub it up at the place to be, Mr. Chubby's Wings.
The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you got to go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Corolla? It's not $16,995. Now it's only $12,481. That's $12,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla at Arlington. Got to have a 2019 Toyota Toyota Tacoma? It's not $24,575. No way. Now it's just $28,991. Just $28,991 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Tacoma at Arlington. Plus, you're going to get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyota-thon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Oye, amigo, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
And this guy writes in, where was all this Masvidal love before his recent success? Real fans have had his back for a long time.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jag.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Gotta go out, try to perform at a high level for number one. Also, taking care of your body, cold tub, massages, needling, things like that. Same thing you've been doing from week one all the way to now. Now, I hate needles, but I know it helps me with my body and stuff like that, but that's a part of being a pro.
That's Leonard Fournette taking care of his body this late in the season. And again, I said this yesterday, making it through this season healthy, and knock on wood for Leonard Fournette, I think would be a big deal. Yeah. I think would be a really big deal. And it would show him something, what he did, the work he put in the offseason, paying off. And I think he's already been shown that. I think we've been shown that. But that'd be a great thing, I believe, for Leonard Fournette. Small little thing, but maybe a big thing in his career and how to take – because I think guys try to figure out how do you take care of your body. You know, how do you take care of your body in the pros as you get a little bit older in December? And these first 3 years have all been different for Leonard Fournette. So far, he found something that's working.
Yeah, and listen, I think this is kind of a change of the times because even when I played, my recovery involved going to Jacksonville Beach and visiting the local establishments after every single game, and that was kind of my recovery.
You weren't carrying the ball, obviously.
Wasn't carrying the ball at all, man. But I think nowadays we always talk about the modern era football player, and one of the things that we always talk about, Brent, is the fact that they're very self-aware. They're always trying to find the new thing to, try to make their bodies perform at the most optimum level. And with Leonard Fournette talking about how he hates needles, but he does the needling thing, I mean, I get it. So I think now more than ever, and I'm sure it'll probably get crazier 10 years down the road, with just the capabilities that you can have to make your body improve, to recover quicker, and obviously that gives longevity to players' careers.
If you would advise me of one treatment to get that an NFL player takes. Now, again, I'm talking my line, like, hey, that's a grind for me too. I mean, I know it's not a physical grind, but it's a grind. So just out there, like, because I hear I've never done acupuncture, right? I've got massage before. Actually did the stretching thing. It was really good. Yeah. I haven't done as much yoga as I'd like to. I've done a little bit, but yoga's
the big
been
one
good.
Right there, man.
Working out a little bit, whatever it might be. You diet. Last month I did no sugar. I'm trying to do that again this month. Whatever it is, I'm talking for in general.
Sure.
From something that a pro athlete does.
Yeah.
And mine is popping pills, by the way.
Good call.
And for this conversation, medicinal marijuana.
CBD oil, is that count? No. Okay, I got you. All right, so marijuana out of the question. Okay. Gotcha.
What do you think was most effective for you or across the board that guys you've talked to have been most effective?
Back at it now. So two things to me stand out, Brent, and I'm going to look at this from like a defensive lineman position. So let's say, Brent Martineau, you're a defensive lineman. We'll call you a 3 technique. I'm just trying to visualize. I'm trying to visualize it. It's hard, but I'm going to get there. And let's say we need to have you be at the most optimum of your abilities.
Am I like a
recovery.
Terrence Knighton or an Aaron Donald body type?
It's 2019. There aren't a lot of Terrence Knightons anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
so
play
I'm
nose
ripped like
tackle,
Aaron Donald now.
Yeah, I mean, so you're ripped Aaron Donald. I think there's two things that you can do in terms of recovery. Number one is deep tissue massage because that's vital. That's going to work out the soreness. It'll work out the lactic acid. And I'm talking deep tissue massage. I'm not talking about something where you go to, one of these Massage Envies, unless they want to sponsor the show, then they're all good. But I'm not talking about where you go to Massage Envy, you just get someone, kind of rub your shoulders a little bit. I'm talking like deep tissue. And the Jaguars, when I played, they had one of those ladies. Her name was Christy. And believe me when I say it's probably the worst 30 minutes of your life because she puts all her body weight on these, on these pressure points, and you're almost to the point in tears, not even exaggerating. It hurts. And even like right after, you're like, what did I just do to myself? I feel like I'm in pain. But then the day later, you wake up, you're like, you know what? I feel a little more looser. Like also my shoulder feels a little better. So deep tissue massage for sure, and also yoga. Especially from positions that require the flexibility. You hear all the time, Brent, defensive ends, they have to have that hip mobility. They have to have that bend, right? They have to have the bend. Well, yoga can definitely give you that bend.
Yeah, very good. By the way, I would love that.
Yeah.
I like you can't hurt me is what I say.
Okay. Well, that's what we should do. That'd be a good segment, like where we take you through all the things that NFL players go through, and let's see if you can handle them.
That would be good.
Cold tub, needling, deep tissue massage.
I did last year with Malik Jackson.
Yeah.
I went into the what's it called?
Oh, the cryotherapy chamber.
Cryotherapy.
Yeah.
Woof. But it was good.
Yeah. Well,
it was good.
Here's the thing: you ever been in an ice tub before, like a real ice tub?
No. The only thing I feel like I've done, in that sense, no.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if this was as cold, or maybe they say it's colder. But like sometimes you go to, my wife's gone to it before, like the spa,
Sure.
where you go to the hot tub,
Yeah.
and then you go to the cold
tub,
and then you go like to the sauna or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
They say
yep.
that like the mixture of it all.
For sure.
I feel like I did that somewhere, and it was freezing. That's about as close as I've come to a cold tub.
Yeah, yep.
And I don't want to ever experience it again.
They call that contrast therapy.
Yeah.
So it's the hot, you get the body warmed up, and then you shock it with the cold, and that's supposed to help open things up. But no, I think that's a good idea for you, man. I say we make you try everything the NFL players got to try.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
And cryotherapy it actually really did feel good after.
Yeah. Well, and to
Not
be
gonna
fair,
lie.
and I'm not trying to make you sound like a wuss, but cryotherapy is probably the easiest one out of all the things on the list that
Is
we
it?
just mentioned.
I would think the tub is the hardest.
Tub is one of the worst. Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you like acupuncture though, right?
I love it. Yeah. I think because my wife's going to school for it right now, so it helps. I'm kind of like her guinea pig, / like I guess you call me like a voodoo doll, maybe a little more. But thankfully, I haven't had any issues so far. She hasn't poked me in the wrong spot, so she does a really good job.
No wonder why you couldn't beat him yesterday, Coos.
I had the power of voodoo
doll.
I had
He
the
was
power of
using
voodoo
on me.
Yeah,
man.
you were screwed.
You know what's up.
All right. Why sometimes do I feel like every other player in the NFL that has played for the Jags and left kind of feels like a Jaguars voodoo doll? That was an interesting way to transition, wasn't it?
That might have been the segue of the year right there, man. I like it.
But I'm thinking, so I end up tweeting this last night, watching the Chicago-Dallas game. And Allen Robinson's having a good game, and I'm a big fan of Allen Robinson. I thought they should have kept him here. But he's doing a nice job and has been good coming off the big knee injury when he was here in Jacksonville. And so I tweeted out, eventually I'm going to find it. This is just part of the gut-wrenching life of a Jags fan. One of Jaguars' better picks of the decade, Allen Robinson, catching everything in sight in an impossible cover for Dallas. Because a lot of people look back at his numbers last night, and they weren't like, oh, my gosh, 14 catches for 200 yards. But Dallas couldn't cover. There were like 3 straight plays where they were tugging on his jersey, interference. They just couldn't cover him for a stretch in that game.
Well,
Allen Robinson had a big game
that's kind of been
last
like
night.
him the whole season.
Yes.
It's been like that.
And I think he's a good player, really good player, underrated player. And I got a ton of responses, man. Some said about to do the same with Jan. Here's an idea. Do a team of players no longer with the Jags that are doing better. Bet it's a heck of a team. And I don't really know if that's the case there. You know, Brandon Marshall had some really nice years. You brought him up. Dante Fowler's had some moments in L.A., and he went to the Super Bowl last year. And I think Dante's
he has
better.
7.5 sacks.
I think Dante's better than people perceive Dante to be.
7.5 sacks, Brent. That's all you got to hear.
But there's not this long laundry list of players that have done unbelievable things leaving. And in fact, Allen Robinson at the end of the day might be the best.
Sure.
And when we add it up, it's too soon to even add it up, but he might be the best.
And I absolutely agree with you there, you know, and I kind of spoke my 2 cents on it on Twitter, and those are just guys off the top of my head. I mean, I'm sure I can name more if I was really to try to. I know Dwan Harris was here. He was like the 3rd-string running back for a little bit. He went to Green Bay, was a starting running back for a couple years.
You mentioned Daryl
Smith, yeah.
You mentioned Terrence Knighton. Those
Tyson
guys did well.
Alualu, Brandon Marshall, yeah. I mean, and I get the whole Tyson thing, you know, where he's a backup in Pittsburgh. Okay, very cool. He's played in the league for 10 years now. And someone that plays in the league for 10 years, guess what? They're a good football player because at his position, even if he is a backup, guess what? Teams are going to keep Tyson Alualu in for his price if he's not playing well, because they'll replace him with a younger guy. That's what teams do. But Tyson's playing good football, so I think Tyson's definitely a good example there. But, yeah, I guess to kind of get back to my point a little bit, listen, and I didn't do a lot of research on this, but I don't know if a lot of teams can say that. You know what I mean? I don't know if a lot of teams can say, well, look at how many guys left, them, and they did better. I mean, I think
because usually free agency's a miss.
Yeah.
Usually that's what happened. Alan Lazard is at wide receiver with Green Bay's doing a pretty nice job.
Yeah.
And that's what Stewart just texted me that in. And that's a good example, but sometimes that's a practice squad thing. I think did they bring him up in time? Were they too crowded? Was he developed enough? I mean, it's taken Alan Lazard a couple years even in Green Bay.
Sure.
He's had a couple moments here and there, but now he looks more part of it in Green Bay, and I think they like Lazard, just couldn't hang with him long enough. There's always reasons. I'm not trying to defend the organization, but there's sometimes you are going to miss. Sometimes it's a better fit somewhere else, and listen, it's a better fit if you're a receiver with Aaron Rodgers most of the time than anybody the Jags have had.
And that's the point. Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure, is making Allen look pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Alan Lazard. But here's the same thing, though, Brent. You can make an argument for, well, did Allen Robinson make Blake Bortles look really good? I think he did. And guess what? Blake Bortles got that new contract off a lot of what Allen Robinson did to help him out. But Allen Robinson, as far as the contract, it never really transpired, or it didn't happen to the way he wanted it to happen.
You're right. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
But remember, the year that Bortles did well, Allen Robinson got hurt.
Yeah.
So he didn't help him that year. Mm-hmm. How much it would have helped would have been very interesting. Just to just finish your point, or anybody's point about name a team that's better. I don't think the Jags have lost a ton of players and said, wow, look what we missed. We should have signed him. We should have done this. Robinson might be near the top of the list. Brandon Marshall may have made a Pro Bowl, or he was playing at that kind of level. I don't know if he did.
He didn't make a Pro Bowl, but I think he won a Super Bowl, man. And he was a staple in that linebacking core for a while.
He
was a
They
good
let
player.
him go. Darryl Smith, it wasn't necessarily the play of Darryl Smith, in my opinion. It was the philosophical change Dave Caldwell had when he got in here to not have anybody over the age of 30 or around 30. Yep. And really the philosophical mistake they made in those early years in 13 and 14 was they didn't have enough of those guys.
Sure.
They needed the Darryl Smiths in the first couple of years. They went so young that they had nobody to look up to in that locker room. Darryl Smith would have been a great keeper, and he did play well. I'm just saying he didn't play unbelievable like Pro Bowl guy. I think they missed his leadership more than they missed his play, in my opinion.
Once again, Darryl Smith had the incredible task of replacing Ray Lewis. And for those couple years that he did. They did not miss a beat. Like, those are big shoes to fill in Ray Lewis, Brent, in Baltimore.
I would think
Darryl Smith did it.
If you look at some of the guys, I would say Allen Robinson right now is probably near the top of the list. Darryl Smith would be on that list.
Reggie
Brandon
Nelson.
Marshall. Reggie Nelson.
He was a two-time Pro Bowler.
Now, he went to a Pro Bowl after.
Two of them.
2 Pro Bowls with Cincinnati.
I think it was Oakland.
And the Raiders. And the Raiders, okay. And Dante Fowler would be an interesting one as well.
Yeah.
And Stewart brings up a good point. Now Jalen Ramsey will be on that list.
Obviously, you're going to have to throw him on the list probably.
He will be eventually. He'll be on that list, and we'll see where it goes. All right, more from this conversation. Lee has caught more time on the IR than A-Rob has catches, and that's hard to do when dude's hands are like Velcro, somebody says. Now, and Lee got a lot. Tom and Dave could have re-signed him, but chose Lee, says Bobby. And, again, I've got a ton of responses on this thread, but I want to address that one. Because if your perception of this is the Jaguars said, we have Allen Robinson for this amount of money, and we have Lee for this amount of money, we choose Lee. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. First of all, we take you back, and we actually talked to Allen Robinson about this. The year he got hurt in 17, the Jaguars made an offer that Labor Day, before the season opener. And the offer was a pretty healthy offer. But Allen Robinson, I think, if I remember this correctly, he told us at the Super Bowl, chose to ride it out and take a little bit of a gamble, didn't love the offer, thought they maybe could do better as a season, maybe kind of a show-me deal and gamble on himself. Well, he gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then the Jaguars, as the season goes along, they now have a guy with an ACL and say, well, we're not going to give him as much as we first offered him. He's coming off an ACL. We're going to take a little bit of a gamble that nobody else is going to pay him X amount of money. Well, it turns out Chicago did pay X amount of money. The talks broke off. The market for what A-Rob could get was more than I think the Jaguars probably projected. So he goes off to Chicago. The Jaguars' backup plan essentially was Marquise Lee. And at a moderate rate, not near the rate that Allen Robinson was going to be, around $13 million. So that's kind of how this thing went down. I'm paraphrasing a bit. I hope I didn't leave out a detail or two. But to sit here and say, well, they had Allen Robinson and then Marquise Lee, and we're going to invest in, we're picking Marquise Lee. That's not how it went down. And I remember talking to Marquise Lee even when he got signed. He was as stunned as anybody because he's like, I thought they would have re-signed A-Rob. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. Like, he thought they would have re-signed A-Rob. Well, I just think the price tag, and again, this is where the Jaguars can be questioned. Should they have gone higher? Should they have kept A-Rob coming off the ACL? Well, it's a gamble when you have a player coming off an ACL. I mean, we'd all admit that.
I admit that for sure.
Would it have been right to pay him $13 million a year in hindsight? Well, yeah, I think it would have been.
Well, I get it. Hindsight's 20/20. He's coming off an ACL, but at the same time, he's coming off an ACL as a member of a guy that you brought in the draft.
That's right. He's a second-round investment.
That guy that you developed, that a guy that that built the culture through him and everything, and then you let him go. So you obviously know where I stand, ACL or not. And I get it. People are upset because Marquise Lee's been injury prone, right? And listen, obviously they would rather probably have Allen Robinson, Marquise Lee. I get that, but I'm never gonna bring up the injury proneness as a talking point because it's the game of football and injuries happen, man. Yeah. And you see sometimes where things just happen that are unexplainable. And with Marquise Lee, obviously he didn't get a lot of good playing time, and I understand that, but I'm not gonna fault him because this guy hurt, he can't stay healthy. There's a lot that goes into it besides being quote-unquote injury prone.
You could make this argument, though, that the Jaguars didn't want to risk Allen Robinson and spend that kind of money because of the injury, yet they were okay risking a certain amount of money on Marquise Lee, even though he had been injured at times during his first 4 years in Jacksonville as well. Not done with this conversation. We'll stay on it. We got to take a break. We're back on ESPN 690 live from TopGolf right after this.
What's good, Stephen A?
Suddenly we look at those Cowboys. Dak Prescott, not looking too smart right now that you didn't sign that extension. I reckon somebody needs to tell Dak Prescott, hey, wait a minute there, buddy. You might want to sign that contract extension as opposed to being focused on setting the market. You might want to take a couple of $1 million less. I'm wondering about those Cowboys right now. Are you okay?
The Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.
The holidays are on the horizon, and that means family and food. Hey, everybody, I'm Brett Martineau. Let Renna's Pizza help you out. Parties at school, parties at work, celebrations, or hey, maybe you're just tired of cooking yourself. Renna's has you covered with 5 locations in Northeast Florida. Want a fresh one? Renna's makes everything fresh. New York-style pizza, sandwiches, salads, pasta dishes, everything fresh. Find out why Renna's has been a family favorite for over 40 years. 5 locations in Northeast Florida, Marsh Landing, Bay Meadows, Argyle Forest, San Jose, and the newest location in Neptune Beach.
Okay, they definitely don't have safe touch security here. Look, you see that cheap plug-and-play alarm system right there on the table?
Yeah.
All we gotta do is crash through this door here, walk over to the cheap system, and smash it.
Boss, I got a better idea. Instead of smashing that cheap alarm, we could just unplug it and take it with us. Then we could regift it.
Oh, you may be onto something here. We could give these do-it-yourself alarms to people we don't like, and then break into their house a week or 2 later.
Boss, that's a dirty, rotten thing to do.
What, you want to give them to someone you like?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
You know, I even heard they have a warehouse full of these cheap alarms from all the unhappy customers who've returned them.
Well, good thing these folks didn't return theirs yet.
Right. So let's crash and smash now before they call Safe Touch.
You got it, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
20% off. Don't get Scrooged this Christmas buying a diamond from anyone else but Beard's Diamonds.
Now through Christmas, you'll save an extra 20% off Beard's already guaranteed low prices,
including loose diamonds,
in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Peace of mind. It's one of the most important things we can have, and sometimes the most elusive. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Car accidents can turn your life upside down. Your car is damaged, you're in pain, injuries can even create problems at work. While there's no magic wand, our team is ready to get you back on your feet as soon as possible. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000 for a consultation. That's 904-600-4000.
Office in Jacksonville. Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker dazzles this Christmas. Bring the whole family together for the original holiday tradition. Step into a simpler time filled with sweet dreams and spectacular magic. Experience world-class artists, stunning costumes, and towering puppets on the Gift of Christmas tour. It just wouldn't be Christmas without Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. Get tickets now at nutcracker.com.
Appearing at the Florida Theater December 22nd. Get your tickets today at nutcracker.com.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Marty Smith from ESPN joining us right now.
Everybody wants me to yell either go Gators or go Dogs, and I just yell go Mickey Mouse.
Catch Brett and Austin weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
I thought we executed better. Obviously we had the one turnover. 4 turnovers is obviously one turnover is too many. When we talk about turnovers, if you never want the unforced turnover, you know what I mean? There's a ball that's going to be tipped every once in a while. That's going to land in somebody's hands. There's going to be a bang play on the sidelines that's going to be maybe tipped and picked. There's going to be a great play by a defender coming over the top and strip the ball out of the quarterback's hands. So I thought we did a better job of that.
That's John DeFilippo talking about the Jaguars offense. Tough offense to talk about these last few weeks. Just hasn't been getting it done. Will Gardner Minshew provide a spark? Will they be more productive? Will something pick up? Will something finally work and register in practice, in the film room, in some kind of preparation? Because that's really been the amazing thing for the Jags in the last month is everything they've tried to talk about. And you know they're trying to fix it. I mean, come on. You know they're trying to fix it. But everything they've tried to fix, they've swung and missed because it's mostly the same stuff. Now, you could say the running game, okay, they didn't give up 200 yards, but everybody knows Tampa wasn't even trying to run the ball to the degree the other teams were trying to run the ball. Yeah. So we'll see this week if the Chargers are able to run the ball. I think this will be the week that we can see more of, was the running game fixed at all in the last couple of weeks. We will find out with the Chargers and that duo coming in. And as much as we talk about Eckler and Gordon in the backfield from a running game situation, their screen game, their pass game out of the backfield is about as good as anybody's in the game, and that might be more of a concern. It's the combination of what's coming out of the backfield. The Jags have been burned by the screen game in the past. What is it about the screen game that I watch almost every other team in the NFL be able to do it, yet the Jags seem to struggle with it? And I'm telling you, that's not a Doug Marrone thing. It's not a Nick Foles thing. It's not a John DeFilippo thing. That's been a Brent Martineau thing watching the Jaguars for a dozen years. Yeah. It feels like they can't execute the screen like everybody else in the league can.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw a screen with the Jaguars was Maurice Jones-Drew back in the day, man.
Yeah.
And listen, I think the screen is a great weapon, and why they don't do it, I don't know. I don't think it's a philosophy thing, because if you look back to the Eagles of 2017, they ran screens. I don't know if you don't have the personnel to do it or what it is, or maybe you just don't want to practice it because it takes some time. Whatever it is, I'm a huge proponent of the screen. And, yes, you will see that with Los Angeles Chargers, especially with Melvin Gordon and also Austin Eckler as well. And I think when we're breaking down the Chargers here, Brent, I mean, this is going to be that big linebacker game, and you're missing your cash cow here in Myles Jack being out for the season now. But you talk about Austin Eckler in the receiving game. Jaguars haven't been good stopping running backs in the receiving game. You talk about Melvin Gordon in the run game, between the tackles, outside. Jaguars haven't been necessarily that good at stopping the run game like that. You talk about Hunter Henry, who is a very great tight end. I'd probably put him honestly at top 5 right now in the NFL at the tight end spot. If he can stay healthy. But right now, guess what? He's healthy, and he's a problem. Once again, the Jaguars have shown they can't really cover tight ends that well. Enter Ryan Griffin from the New York Jets, and all of a sudden Ryan Griffin is on fantasy rosters just because of that Jaguars game alone. And then obviously you have the big play abilities with Keenan Allen and then Williams as well on the other side. And Williams is a guy who, he's definitely had a rough year. I think he had 8 touchdowns last year, not even close to that type of production this year. but he is that big play threat. He is that guy that you gotta mind your P's and Q's a little bit, and he is a guy that can definitely burn you if you make a mistake. So as far as all levels are concerned, with the running game, with the middle of the field, with the tight ends, with Keenan Allen running the middle of the field as well, and then obviously that deep threat with Williams, I think that the Chargers are a stacked offense, and the Jaguars will have their hands full.
Yeah, the problem for the Chargers has been Phillip Rivers, quite frankly. I just don't think he's been that good. He's turnover prone. Last week I saw him get sacked twice and costing them field goal opportunities. So, yeah, it's more Phillip Rivers. They've got plenty of weapons around him.
And I'm a big proponent of, when Melvin Gordon was out, their offense was firing on all cylinders because they ran like this up-tempo offense that got the ball to Eckler in the run game and the receiving game. When Melvin Gordon came back, I think they slowed down a little bit and they tried to make him a feature, as that running back because he's Melvin Gordon.
Yeah,
right. I mean, he is the bell cow a little bit. So I thought they tried to slow down their offense a little bit too much when Melvin Gordon came back. And I think that's some of their problems right now.
You can actually we didn't talk about that much, but I remember talking at the time saying he is not. It's not like he didn't miss a beat. He potentially screwed up their offense for a few weeks with that holdout.
Yeah.
Like he didn't help himself, and he didn't help the Chargers, and maybe Anthony Lynn and company didn't handle it well because they were trying to force him in and say, oh, he's back, we got to give it to him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a make you happy situation. He's a very talented player, so get him in there.
Yeah.
But you spoke about it at the time as like Eckler was performing better. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to force the guy in just because he's your named guy, and he sat out and was unhappy. And they screwed up that probably, and it looked like it got them out of sync for a bit. I don't know if that's the carryover now. I'm just saying for a stretch of the season, there was 2 or 3 games where it looked like that messed them up.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, Gordon's kind of back to his old self again. He's playing at a pretty high level. But you got to remember, too, when they were going through that, when they were trying to give Gordon those extra reps, even though he probably didn't earn them outside of Eckler, sometimes you can lose a locker room like that, too.
Yeah.
Where, Austin Eckler did everything right, was busting his what to try to provide for the team, and I think he had a couple game-winning drives just basically where he put the team on his back and said, I got you guys. And then all of a sudden Melvin Gordon comes back and Austin Eckler kind of takes that second fiddle now. That can, and I'm not saying that's the cause of the Chargers' downfall, but that can rub a lot of players in the locker room the wrong way.
Yeah, little things contribute to your downfall. Little things, they add up, and when you lose games and you're 4-8, guess what? It becomes the big thing and maybe the reason why it all happened. Yeah. All right, I don't want to lose that A-Rob. I want to finish up on Allen Robinson here. We were just talking about him. And there's one other element to this Allen Robinson situation, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And we asked him this, and I think we both got the same vibe, and he might not have matter-of-factly said it, but he did kind of say it. And you got the sense he didn't want to be here in Jacksonville. And might have been part of the reason he turned down the initial offer before he got hurt. Because maybe it was Bortles, but maybe it was – he actually said it wasn't. He clarified the Bortles stuff when we talked to him at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He said it was more the turnover. He said the turnover in coaches, QB coaches, wide receiver coaches, all these coaches, and it was just hard. He's like, it's hard to get any consistency when you're learning all these new techniques and new styles and new this and that. He wasn't using it as an excuse, but he just said, find me somewhere where I can go and it's going to be similar for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a decent explanation from him, and you did get that vibe from Allen Robinson. He is much happier in Chicago than he would have been in Jacksonville, and sometimes that's the case for players. Listen, they offered Olivier Vernon a ton of money to come here. He wanted to go play in the big market in New York. Sometimes you lose out to that stuff, and they might have lost out on this sweepstakes for Allen Robinson regardless of what they tried to offer him because he maybe wanted out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a big part of it, especially with Jacksonville, where there hasn't been a culture that's been, set yet. So the intriguingness to come to Jacksonville, it just isn't there, Brent. It's kind of like we talked about the Knicks a little bit, but the Knicks is a different story where, they're the New York Knicks of the past and not people that want to go there. I'm not saying Jacksonville people don't want to come here and play football, but they don't really have that it factor. They don't have that, I want to play on that defense, man. I want to play on that offense. I want to play on that offense with that offensive line who's just, they're nasty. They have this kind of aura about them.
Or that coach or that quarterback.
Or that coach.
Remember,
exactly.
A-Rob's a Detroit guy, too, so he's going to the Midwest with Chicago.
Sure.
That's a lure, right?
Exactly. So you just don't have any of that, And with the Chicago Bears, to be fair, I think they're more of the defensive-minded. You think of last year, how their defense kind of propelled them to go on to the playoffs. And, I guess there was some kind of intrigue with Mitch Trubisky. Now, is Mitch Trubisky the answer? Time will tell.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of things to get Mitch Trubisky, and obviously he hasn't been playing up to that as a whole in his career. So from Allen Robinson's perspective, we'll see how that decision pans out for him. But obviously, Allen Robinson's doing everything that he can in his power to be the best player that he can be. And he's doing well so far.
I'm a big fan of A-Rob. One last one on this before we go to break. Would they have gotten the DJ Charks of the world? Have they filled the void anyway? The DJ Charks, the Conleys, the D.D. Westbrooks? Do you feel like they've been able to fill that void, or would he make them so much better that you really regret not having A-Rob around? And that's not to discount A-Rob. He's doing fine in Chicago. I think he's really good. I think he's Pro Bowl, borderline Pro, whatever you want. But I have they done enough here at the wideout position to say it would be great to have him, but we've got enough here?
See, they have some potential in Jacksonville with the wide receiving core, but I think A-Rob's on a different level, man, because to me, if it's, 4th and 7 and you need a first down, you're throwing the ball to A-Rob. And even if the defense knows it's coming, you throw that jump ball to A-Rob, and 9 times out of 10, he'll go up and get it. I can't say who I'll throw the ball to on a 4th and 7 that you need a first down. Who are you going to throw it to in the receiving core? I guess DJ Chark, but to me, I'd rather have Allen Robinson, just in that scenario.
The resume doesn't look good on the front office, partly because of Allen Robinson and his performance the last couple of years outside of Jacksonville. What else does a resume look like? And one guy in particular here that they should keep because he's, now second in franchise history in sacks. More on that on ESPN 690 when we come back.
Pop quiz. If you sell a home for $500,000, how much would a traditional real estate agent charge in commission? If you guessed $25,000 to $30,000, you're right. But if you think that's the only way, you're wrong. This is why thousands of homeowners are making the switch to Rex. With Rex, you get a dedicated agent and a full-service experience at a fraction of the cost. Rex uses game-changing technology to cut out the middleman and save homeowners tens of thousands of dollars in fees. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. Remember, this is your home. Why give an insane amount of equity away to an agent? Rex offers the lowest fee in the industry without skimping on service. You'll work with an experienced real estate team with you every step of the way. Get the most out of your home. See if you qualify by calling 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME.
Florida, CQ 1057788.
Minimum fee may apply. Not licensed in all 50 states. Visit rexhomes.com to see if Rex is available in your area. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Adrian Wojnarowski. Finsdale was in his second season coaching New York. Assistant Mike Miller is a strong possibility to be named interim head coach. Celtics guard Marcus Smart is expected to play tonight against the Nuggets. Smart has been dealing with a sore oblique and an illness. Boston hosting Denver is on ESPN TV and the ESPN app at 8 Eastern. To be followed by the Lakers against the Trailblazers in Portland. Lakers have won 10 straight on the road. Baseball and Nationals team owner Mark Lerner told NBC Sports Washington that the team can't afford to keep both reigning World Series MVP and starter Steven Strasburg and All-Star third baseman Anthony Rendon. They're both free agents, said, quote, but they really can only afford to have one of those guys. The Rays agreed to trade outfielder Tommy Pham and a prospect to the Padres for outfielder Hunter Renfroe and a prospect. Tampa Bay ace Blake Snell commented with displeasure about the team dealing Pham on a Twitch stream earlier today.
Great news! There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Our job right now is trying to get that bad taste out of our mouth and get a W. We have 4 games left, so let's go out, try to perform the best that we can. Things happen, a lot of things out of our control. The biggest thing that I learned that you have to control what you can't control. So I try to go out there, play my part the best way I can to help the team out.
That is Leonard Fournette, Jaguars running back on the verge of 1,000 yards this season. We've talked about already. He's got the franchise record for running back receptions. And now he's looking to pile onto that the last 4 games. Get in the end zone a little bit more, I think, would really finish off the individual season that's been really good for Leonard Fournette. Has a chance at 2,000 scrimmage yards as well. That's an outside chance, but he certainly has that opportunity with a big month of December. And as I've said many times, I think staying healthy will be a big part of all that and kind of check a box for Leonard Fournette. Brent Martineau along with Austin Lane. We are live at TopGolf Country Concert tonight. Lee Bryce, Cassidy Pope. You can get your tickets. Starts at 7 o'clock. Looking for something to do on a beautiful Friday evening at a cool venue. We are at TopGolf. You can check it out, topgolf.com, for tickets. And it's kind of a neat atmosphere as they continue to do the sound checks and get ready. No golf balls flying here tonight, and it's a busy month. Here at TopGolf. Should have been, I know. So they'll be flying again tomorrow.
Dude, this is like I guess I didn't know what to expect when I came here, like what the setup was going to be
me
like.
Either. I was interested in
it
too.
It looks pretty. Dude, you should have like a music festival here, man. Like this is a really cool spot.
That's a good point. You know, I mean, because you can fit a lot of people down on the turf, like on the driving range.
Yeah.
But then all these bays act actually as suites.
Of course.
I mean, so it's really a great idea.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch it, I think, from one of the bays tonight.
Cool.
So we'll check that out. But it's a great idea. It sounds good. Obviously, people, if you listen to the show, you can kind of hear it in the background.
Yeah.
But we just went outside and listened, and it's going to be rocking.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that. So I think this is an idea in place by TopGolf, maybe all across the country. It's not like the first time they've done one.
Sure.
They've tried it at other places, and I think this is something that they're evolving into, maybe more of these.
Okay.
Well, TopGolf does really well, too. So, to shut down the golf portion on like a Friday night, you got to really be invested in this thing, and they're hoping it pays off.
Listen, I'm going to drive the point home one more time. I'm sure they do very well, but I feel like you could do better if you can hit golf balls at the performers tonight, but it is what it is. I'm not calling the shots, Brent. Wish I was.
And they're probably glad you're not. One last, actually kind of a spillover. We're going to get to on the topic of, A-Rob is a miss under the Caldwell-Coughlin regime. That would have been 2017. They had a chance to sign him. Mm-hmm. And so now you start to add up these things, right? And they signed Telvin Smith. Was that a mistake? Well, in hindsight, it's a mistake. They signed Miles Jack. Is that a mistake? Well, in hindsight, so far, the short return has not been very good. They didn't need to sign him when they did, and they probably would have been better off waiting. They trade away Jalen Ramsey. Things don't work out in the front office with Jalen Ramsey. That's how we got to this point. There's still no Yannick Ngakoue signing, and that looks like it could be headed down a road that nobody wants to go, even if there is some franchise tag power for the Jacksonville Jaguars involved in that situation currently. Sure. Nick Foles, Blake Bortles. I mean, these are all moves that are adding up to not be good. Now, they've made some good moves, and some of these were prior to actually Coughlin. This was back in actually that was that offseason, so excuse me on that front. But the Calais Campbells of the world, right? The A.J. Boyes of the world, the money spent on those kind of guys. Yeah. I would say DJ Hayden fills into that void very nicely. Norwell does not. Yeah. So you look at some of these moves, and again, this is the nature of the business. Sometimes moves will work, sometimes they won't. The problem is the eyesore of the ones that don't. Notably the quarterback position, at least at the moment, with Foles and Bortles really stick out. And then young players that you drafted and now don't have on the team that look to be good, like Allen Robinson, Dante Fowler Jr., and now Jalen Ramsey, all depart. And we can debate how good all those guys are. Fowler especially would probably get some feedback if I said that out loud to some folks. Yeah. But the bottom line, as you said, 7.5 sacks, man, now out the door, and you drafted him, and you spent a top 5 pick on him. So all those things added up. There's some that stick out more than others, and right now that's having a negative impact on the resume of Coughlin, Caldwell, and this front office, even though there are some moves they've made along the way, including this year's draft. That's pretty good.
And that's probably my biggest issue. And granted, I probably have had a lot of them when it comes to the front office that I've stated here on the show. But I think my biggest issue is the fact that you're not showing good faith in the guys that you draft. Because if you want to be a successful NFL franchise, you have to take care of the guys that you bring in. And when we talk about guys like Dante Fowler, talk about guys like Jalen Ramsey, still waiting to see on Yannick Ngakoue right now. Talk about guys like Allen Robinson. Like, these are guys that, okay, maybe they wanted a little more money, maybe they wanted something else, but you know what? They didn't really give you a reason why to let him go. Like, I can see the point where, you know what, we drafted this guy. For instance, Luke Jokel, okay? Luke Jokel, he wasn't a good offensive lineman. He wasn't going to work out in Jacksonville, so they let him go. Okay, I get it. It might have been a weak draft. You made a mistake taking him, but it happens. It happens to every single GM usually. So I get that point. But the problem that I have is when you do hit on guys, when it does make sense that this guy is here and everything, that you don't reciprocate that appreciation for him and keep him on the team and you let him go, and then you see him doing well on other teams. That's the problem that I have, Brent.
What's worse? Not spending the money on guys that go do well. Allen Robinson, maybe trying to keep Jalen Ramsey and making it work.
Yeah.
Whatever happens with Yannick Ngakoue. Or overspending on guys that you spent money on and making the wrong calls. Miles Jack, potential. It's early to put Miles in that category, but for now, he's part of it. Bortles, Foles, Norwell, Telvin Smith. Am I leaving anybody out? Let's just say those guys.
Okay.
So what's worse? Letting guys go that you should have signed in hindsight, or overpaying guys and it not working out that you did sign, whether they're free agents or your draft picks?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, Brent. I would argue that, to me, Blake Bortles gave you some evidence that maybe he shouldn't deserve that contract. I get it. He led your team to the 2017 AFC Championship. But Blake Bortles is also the reason why I said my first curse word in front of my son when he was 2 years old. He threw like his third pick six in 3 games, and I go, what the F are you doing? And my wife looked at me like, who did I marry? Who is this person who all of a sudden is getting so passionate about the Jacksonville Jaguars? And I said, listen, like, it's week in, week out with this guy. Like, what do you want me to do? This is ridiculous.
That can't be the first time she said that either.
You know what? It's at a daily basis now. It really is. It really is. But nevertheless, though, so, to me, if a guy gives you any kind of inkling that maybe it doesn't work out, and let's be honest, what's some of the other guys that you mentioned?
I mentioned Telvin, I mentioned Miles,
yeah.
I mentioned Linder, I mentioned Bortles,
Yeah.
I mentioned Foles.
Yeah. So, see, to me, like Telvin, you didn't know he was going to retire or just walk away from the game. So, yeah, I mean, that's your fault because you paid him the money, but you didn't see that coming, okay? Miles Jack, well, I've been pretty adamant about that one. I think he's a hell of a football player. I think he's playing out of position. When he has played, on the weak side, I think he's showing you something a little bit there. So, from that perspective, you don't have a reason not to pay him, I guess. And then who's the other guy? One more guy. I'm sorry.
Linder?
Linder. The Linder one is – it's weird because it's the center position, right? And it's a guy that went undrafted.
No, he was third round.
Oh, I'm sorry, third-round pick. I'm sorry. So he went third-round pick.
They traded up to get him. It was a good pick in the third round, it looked like.
And I'm all for that, paying him his money. But the injuries, and once again, I don't fault guys with the injuries, okay? Those happen, and I understand. It's not a good look when a guy gets hurt, you pay him that money, but I don't fault the team for that. But I do fault the team when they don't keep the guys that haven't given you a reason why they should be let go.
Well, can you make the argument then that Bortles, Linder, Telvin, Miles, they have done an inadequate job of trying to keep guys that they've developed. Now, the other side is Ramsey, they've now traded away. Dante Fowler, they've traded away. Allen Robinson, they didn't sign. And by the way, I should add Marquise Lee to the fold. They did sign. So they have – it's not like they haven't tried to sign guys. Miles is now in that mix, right? And
I guess here's my other issue with it, Brent. Should they have paid Miles Jack? Well, eventually, because you want to keep him a Jacksonville Jaguar. You feel like you got to steal for him in the second round, and you want to keep him around. I get that. But there's also a thing called priority, okay? And if you look at the priority of the Jacksonville Jaguars at the time, you would see, well, you got a once-in-a-generational possibly guy in Jalen Ramsey. You have a pass rusher who's shown that he can do it every single season, which is the priority position in the NFL. You have those two guys who kind of just, to be fair, got looked over for Miles Jack at a middle linebacker spot. So from that perspective, should Miles Jack have gotten paid? Eventually. But I think you have to go priority by priority. And when I'm looking at priority, you had Jalen Ramsey there. You still have Yannick Ngakoue. We're still waiting to see how that pans out. There is a priority involved in it.
I think that's what makes the Yannick thing so interesting to me, is because they have shown the ability and the want to re-sign guys that they've developed.
Yeah.
They want to re-sign Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
What we haven't seen is something come to this point. We haven't seen it get this far. And a move not be made, and a stalemate of sorts, and potentially an unhappy player if you use the franchise tag and don't give him exactly how much money. We really have not seen that around Jacksonville. We talk about it all summer. Yeah. But Yannick Ngakoue's situation is as unique as we've seen here amongst all the different things that we've seen in Jacksonville. It has not got to this point. And so that's what will be fascinating. And it might not be this regime who ends up making that decision at the end of the day. Could be the new folks, if there are new folks that come in, top-down, GM, Tom Coughlin's position. Maybe it's an influence of a coach. Who knows what it is? But it might not even be this regime's move. In fact, it could be the next regime's first move they make.
Sure. Well, and listen, and with this next regime, whatever their philosophies are, is like I said, you have to worry about the priority. And to me right now, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, the priority is that pass rushing spot. So you have to get Jan paid, or at least make him think that, you know what, we value you, so here's some money. When we talk about, I guess, about priority, like with the whole Brandon Linder situation, okay, you drafted him, fantastic, good football player, great, but as far as the center position's concerned, and I'm sure there's going to be some offensive linemen out there that are going to hate for me to say this, but how much of a priority was it to get Brandon Linder a new contract? You know, like where does he fall on the hierarchy of positions? And to be fair, I get it, a center's very important. But I felt like maybe with Allen Robinson, I would rather had paid Allen Robinson that wide receiver spot that can go up there and get those jump balls for Blake Bortles, as opposed to just a center spot.
Yeah, well, the difference there, I think, is the Jaguars. Now, when you compare it to Robinson, they were at a different phase in terms of their build and the money they had. Like, they had a ton of money at the time they signed Linder. And they're like, all right, well, we can afford this. We got to start spending this sooner or later, and we think this guy's going to be good. What I think in this conversation, what they've really misfired on is some of those early signings. You know, you look at Linder, they haven't got that in return. Yeah. You look at Bortles, they signed, well, that Bortles doesn't count in this. You look at Telvin Smith, that hasn't paid off for them. You look at Miles Jack signing early and giving them up, money maybe before people expect, it has not worked out for them. So those kind of examples have not worked out to benefit the Jacksonville Jaguars up until this point.
Well, and it also goes hand in hand, Brent, because you look at the free agent signings as well that the Jaguars have brought in. There hasn't been a good track record with that either, where if you're not going to pay the guys that you drafted, well, then you got to pay the free agent guys. We're talking about guys like Julius Thomas. I mean, even back in the day with Toby Gerhart, there's guys out there that they paid a lot of money to that didn't perform at all.
I actually think that's where they have hit probably on more percentage than other teams have.
With the free agents.
With the free agents. Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
A.J. Boye.
Sure.
DJ Hayden. I probably not Norwell.
but then I can say Andrew Norwell, Dante Moncrief, Toby Gerhart, Julius Thomas. I mean,
yeah. But my point is the hit percentage on free agents isn't that great.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, they got Calais Campbell, who's now fourth all time. Him alone bumps that up. A.J. Boye was an All-Pro. That bumps that up. I mean, those are good signings, man.
He wasn't a free agent.
Darius was a trade, so they acquired him.
Yeah,
so, I mean, I think
Malik Jackson at the time.
Malik Jackson, another great one. Good call there. So they have done actually a pretty good job in free agency, my guess, relative to other teams from a percentage standpoint. I'd have to go back and look that up. Yeah. But most teams don't hit.
Zane Beadle's not a good one. I mean,
listen, they've got the misses.
I guess it's half and half. Yeah, and I'm not sure what the percentages say, what the numbers say, but yeah, I guess I agree with you where they have had some hits.
And I think when you do that is you also say, okay, I'm not talking about a $4 million guy. I'm talking about when you sign the $8 million, $10 million guys, how have you done on that?
Sure.
Well, obviously they're missing on a Norwell. The Beatles contract was a big one at the time. So you're right on some of those. But I do think they've actually had a healthy number of hits as well. We're talking Yannick Ngakoue, second now all-time in franchise history in sacks. That's the guy we're talking about. You know who's number one? Tony Brackens. And last week, Tony Brackens was back in town. This guy's one of the all-time disappearing acts of former Jaguars. He's a tough guy to find. He's on some ranch in Texas. And Marcel Robinson caught up with Brackens when he was at the game. The all-time leader in sacks here in Jacksonville. Here's that conversation.
Mr. Sack leader himself, Tony Brackens, 55 in the career. How you been, man? Where you been?
Man, everything's awesome. Just been on the ranch back in Texas.
Now, to be able to come back to, the place where you had so much success, obviously to see, how welcomed you are and to just see kind of how much this place has really grown since you left. How does that feel for you?
Man, it's a little surreal, just seeing all the new changes and the upgraded facilities is really, really nice. I think the guys look huge. So, I mean, it's a lot of great talent out there, and just looking at the guys, felt good standing on the field and being able to see Coach Coughlin and Keenan and Fred. There's a couple of guys that I've seen over the years, and be able to just reconnect and just speak to everybody. It's been awesome.
And I saw when you walked out for the coin toss, obviously you stand next to a guy who's also pretty large, Calais Campbell. Tell me, what have you seen from Calais Campbell? Because he seems like, he's obviously one of the key pieces for the Jaguars right now, and he's a bit of a sack, monster himself.
Right. Calais is old school, so just bringing that old school and trying to bridge it into the new school way of doing things is awesome. A lot of people, it's hard for them to make that transition, but he's doing a great job with it. So I spoke to him just because I feel like I can relate more to him because he's a little older.
55 sacks. How does one kind of sit back and just let that register?
Well, I think of 55 back then when I actually played, and it's a lot different than 55 today. I was just talking with a few guys about how the running backs that I had to face week in and week out, the Emmitt Smith, the Eddie George, Jerome Bettis, all the Hall of Fame running backs that so the sacks were slim. It was slim pickings. You really had to work and really pick and choose your times to get them, and with the different coverages that we ran. But nowadays, it's like it's easy for guys. Sacks are not thought of, I don't think, or appreciated as much as they used to be because of the new style of play that we have this day that the NFL has turned into. But, it's awesome to be a part of a historic moment here in Jacksonville, and glad to be back.
You sort of spoke on it a little bit. The new school, obviously, Yannick Ngakoue, he's not necessarily close to you, but he's the closest to you with 20 sacks less than you at 35 with you at 55. To kind of know that Jacksonville is trying to get back to that particular mindset on the defensive line is to get back to the quarterback. Obviously, that's got to be something that someone like yourself can appreciate, right?
Yeah, it comes in spurts. First was stopping the run, and then offense back when we were playing, I was just a tribute to a lot of the opportunities that we got was our offense was great. And when you got Keenan, Jimmy, Fred, and Mark throwing the football and we up 14 points, people had to abandon some of that run mentality that they had because they had to play catch up. So it kind of made some of the games one-dimensional, but it's just going to be a team effort to get back to those sacks.
At the coin flip, I'll stand right next to you as you talk to Calais. Defense on the field first. I saw you light up. Tell me about that moment.
Well, it's just, it's always good to go out and be able to set the tone. Like I said, I enjoy both ways because if our offense got the ball first, we were looking at 7-0 right off the bat, and we were going to go down and score. It's always good to go out and set the tone early and be able to impose your will on the opponents to let them know that it's going to be a long day.
That's Tony Brackens with Marcel Robinson from Sunday. We hadn't had a chance to play that this week, and I certainly wanted to do that because I think so many people remember Brackens. I got to be honest with you, I wasn't around during those times. I've seen him in the record books. I've seen the highlights. I don't know Tony Brackens very well. Again, he doesn't come back. You know a lot of the old players that come back because you run into them, but he has not been that guy. We did that whole thing in June where we tried to track down Tony Brackens.
Yeah,
he was a tough guy to find. So.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool, though. Just think about it, man. 55 sacks, that's 20 more than the next best guy, and that next best guy is now Yannick Ngakoue. That's why I think you got to keep that guy. You got to find a way to get him stay in Jacksonville, and it might be the franchise tag for a year. I just hope he's not such an unhappy player if that's the case, that then it becomes a miserable situation. We've seen that this year with, a guy like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I understand the franchise tag from the pass rushing spot. It looks good on paper, man. It's a lot of money, and that money can go a long ways. I get that. But at the same time, I've never heard of a team that tagged somebody and that player was pumped up about it. Like to me, just my opinion, not sure how Jan feels about it, but if you tag somebody, to me it's a sign of disrespect. Because it's we want you, but we don't want you.
Yeah.
We just want you because we're going to find a loophole to want you. But we don't want you so much that we're willing to offer you this kind of money. We just found a loophole. And to me, especially in a guy that you want to build your team around, not right.
And like I said, that could be on the plate of the next regime and one of the first moves they make so they could set the tone with whatever happens with that Yannick Ngakoue situation.
Absolutely.
And those things are big inside a locker room and how that's perceived. Now, you also just can't hand over blank checks. Okay, that's part of it. It's part of this business. I understand that part too. I don't think everybody – I think everybody understands that, but you still – you know your value, you think what you're valued, and you got to hope that other side agrees or at least comes close to agreeing so then you can negotiate.
And listen, when this new regime comes in, Brent, I guarantee you it's going to happen. They're going to look top to bottom on that roster. They're going to watch film, and they're going to ask themselves, who can we build a team around? Number one, most importantly. The second question is, how old are these guys? How many more years do they have left, and can we go forward with them? When they answer those two questions, then they'll do things accordingly. And when you talk about Yannick Ngakoue, he checks both those boxes. You can build a team around him, and guess what? The guy is still young as well.
The sun must have really gone down because it got really dark in here in like the last 5 minutes.
Yes.
I mean, did they lower the lights? Is the concert
Maybe.
starting? I don't know.
Getting a little mood lighting in here. I'm not mad about it.
We're going to hit the happy hour horn right now here on a Friday, send you off into the weekend. A little country concert tonight here at TopGolf. Maybe think about a little Vida de Louis.
Nobody come between us. Can't make nobody come between us. Oh, cherry baby.
As the careless party now begin, see the beautiful ladies marching in. There's enough for everyone to win. We're gonna make this party the best thing happening. This is my favorite place. Nothing will replace, no. Nothing. Anything goes, gangsters rolling, half face smiling, heads over, think of the rhythm, what you're drinking. Anything goes, hey.
Grab a drink, get a shot, tip your star tenders.
Make sure you do it with a little Vida de Louis. Recently got a 98 rating, and the two new flavors, Reposado and Añejo, got a 94 rating right out of the box, which is really good stuff. VitaDeLouis.com, 3 new flavors now made in Tequila, Mexico, shipped directly to Jack's Beach. Make your own recipes with Vida de Louis tequila, one of the smoothest tequilas you will ever taste. Go to VitaDeLouis.com, great for holiday gifts. Go check out the website, VitaDeLouis.com. We had one comment. I think we've had more than one comment, but a comment on social media.
Yeah.
People getting excited around here for this concert, huh? Getting loud at TopGolf.
Yeah.
They said you built through the draft, not through free agency. Understood. Everybody understands that. That's what you do. But you add in free agency. Everybody does it, especially if you have money. And the Denver Broncos won a Super Bowl by adding through free agency and hitting.
Correct.
The Jacksonville Jaguars went to the AFC Championship game partly because of how they hit on free agency.
Yeah.
So you can do it. It's risky, but you can do it, and you have to supplement, of course, with the draft.
Well,
and you do build the core through the draft.
And I think history will show, excluding the quarterback position, whenever you spend top dollar or you set the market on a new free agent that's not a quarterback, you don't have success. Some names like
No, we're not spurning history here.
Oh no, okay, I'm just saying, man.
Well, no, I'm saying it's not changing here in Jacksonville. They just spent $88 million.
Yeah, no,
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, well, I'm talking about the history though. I'm talking about Ndamukong Suh going to the Dolphins. I'm talking about Mario Williams back in the day going to the Bills.
When you reset it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about C.J. Mosley going to the Jets.
Yeah, well, Malik Jackson did kind of reset a little bit. Calais Campbell's deal was a big deal as well. I'm not sure about resetting.
But I'm talking about resetting, man. Like
Malik's
Albert Hainsworth in Washington, man. You remember that one?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But Malik's was close to kind of resetting at that level.
Sure.
I mean, it was a $97 million deal
Yeah.
that they were able to get out of after the first couple of years. All right, when we come back, we do a little picks, 6-pack of picks, and maybe we'll throw in a couple extras. It's College Football Championship weekend. It's next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy tonight. Temperatures dropping to near 50 degrees. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jack's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where now through December 24th, you get 20% off everything in the store, including loose diamonds, only at Beard's Diamonds. The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you gotta go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Camry? It's not $19,745. Now it's only $15,581. That's $15,581 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Camry at Arlington. Gotta have a 2019 Toyota RAV4? It's not $22,925. No way. Now it's just $19,481. Just $19,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota RAV4 XLE at Arlington. Plus, you're going to get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyotathon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com TopGolf.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Before I got married, my dad told me, happy wife, happy life.
Really? Mine told me, get her bling, you'll be king.
That man's a genius.
Your JCPenney associate will help you find something that sparkles as much as she does. Shop select fine jewelry up to 60% off. Plus, save an extra 40% with your JCPenney credit card and coupon. JCPenney Rewards members get select diamond jewelry for just $25. JCPenney. Offers valid 12/5 to 12/11. Credit offer subject to credit approval. $25 diamond jewelry excluded from coupon. Other exclusions apply. See jcp.com for coupon and details.
'Tis the season to get the job done right. At AutoZone, we've got great deals on awesome products to help you spread the cheer this year. Right now, save $30 when you buy a 180-piece Duralast Mechanics tool set. It's perfectly portable, so getting the job done on the go is a breeze. And Duralast tools are guaranteed for life, which means it really is the gift that keeps on giving. Celebrating the holidays with a job well done starts here. Visit AutoZone.com and we'll help you get what you need. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Right now at T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 11s on us when you add 4 lines and keep your family connected with our most powerful signal ever.
So, hope everyone likes their presents. Thanks to T-Mobile, we all got iPhone 11s this year.
Really? Wait, all of us?
Yep.
The one with the all-day battery life?
And the ultra-wide camera.
Yeah, let's get a picture.
Okay, say happy holidays.
Happy holidays! I'm gonna post this pic right now. Already did. 20 likes.
Hashtag that's my girl. Hashtag best gift ever.
Yeah. Hashtag dad's blocked.
Ring in the holidays at T-Mobile. Get 4 lines for just $30 a line and hurry in to get 4 iPhone 11s on us with new lines and qualifying iPhone trade-ins.
Via 24 credits for well-qualified buyers with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. If you cancel your line before receiving 24 credits, you may owe up to the full value of your device, $699.99 for base model. Contact us. Qualifying service and finance agreements required.
Hey, Bruiser, you ready to do the old holiday shopping routine?
Yeah, I got all the houses picked out.
Alrighty.
Hey, you know, I almost feel sorry for these folks.
Don't go soft on me now. That's why they pay insurance.
Okay, so you promise those kids will just lose their bikes for a little while?
Yeah, I promise. Whatever.
All right, then let's sing our favorite holiday song.
Yeah. We're making our list, checking it twice.
Looking for houses with things that are nice. Bruiser and Browser are coming to town. We're filling our truck, we won't leave much.
Avoiding those houses at God's safe touch.
Bruiser and Browser are coming to town.
Crime does increase during the holidays. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, owner of Safe Touch Security Systems. Our new Safe Touch two-way communicator saves lives and prevents property loss every day. Our average response time is an incredible 14 seconds. Nobody can match our service or our price. You have my guarantee on it.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
It's holiday time, so treat yourself to some golf or give the gift of golf. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. The golf club at Southampton is one of the most fun tracks to play in the area, and it's very affordable. It's the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18 as well. Go to golfsouthampton.com for tee times, gift cards, and gift packages. There are 9 different options to choose from. It's the perfect gift. The gift of golf at Southampton this holiday season. Visit golfsouthampton.com.
At Action News Jax, we're here for severe. When storms threaten, put your trust in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Team, led by Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, rated the most accurate for the last 13 years.
The First Alert Weather Team is the only team of certified meteorologists in the Jacksonville area. That means we have the most schooling and training to forecast and predict severe weather. And that experience will keep you safe from a storm.
Action News Jax First Alert Weather on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
New flavors and a rating that would make men jealous. Hey everyone, this is Austin Lane.
And I'm Brett Martineau. Vita de Louis recently got a 98 rating. It's new, and it's getting rave reviews.
Made in Tequila, Mexico, and shipped directly to Jax Beach. Vita de Louis is available in 3 flavors.
And those flavors are Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Try all 3. Make your own recipes with Vita de Louis Tequila, one of the smoothest tequilas you will ever taste. For merchandise and more, visit VitaDeLouis.com.
The most wonderful time of the year deserves the most wonderful sale of the year. And for that, you gotta go see Arlington Toyota, where you can still get huge Toyotathon savings and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s. With over 1,000 new and used on the lot every day, that's a whole lot of Toyotathon savings happening right now at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Corolla? It's not $16,995. Now it's only $12,481. That's $12,481 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Corolla at Arlington. Gotta have a 2019 Toyota Tacoma? It's not $24,575. No way. Now it's just $28,991. Just $28,991 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Tacoma at Arlington. Plus, you're gonna get all the rewards and benefits of the Arlington Toyota $5,000 Advantage Club with your purchase. Toyotathon is on, but it won't last forever. Get in today and pay up to 50% less on remaining 2019s at Arlington Toyota. In person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for offer details.
Tax problems can be extremely stressful and cause financial devastation. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Jacksonville to be your personal advocate and resolve your IRS or state sales tax issues. J. David Tax Law focuses on your needs and case outcomes. Don't be fooled by these big out-of-town tax companies that only focus on getting you to sign up and pay without even working with an attorney. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit-down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777. Peace of mind only a click or phone call away, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. It's conference championship weekend in college football with a full slate of games that will not only determine the conference champs, but also shape the playoffs. In the ACC, number 23 Virginia takes on number 3 Clemson, and in the SEC, number 4 Georgia takes on number 2 LSU. Here's Paul Feinbaum from the Paul Feinbaum Show.
The number 4 team is going to get blown out in the semifinals, so it really doesn't matter who it is.
And congratulations to Calais Campbell. He's a finalist for the Art Rooney Award. It's an NFL honor presented for the player who has the best sportsmanship, fair play, and respect for the game and opponents, plus integrity and competition. Best of luck, big man. Stay connected with ESPN 690 while you're at work by listening on ESPN690.com. The best kept secret in tires is TireOutlet.com. Tire Outlet offers wholesale prices with premium service, and TireOutlet.com always has a safety-first focus with locations throughout the First Coast. There's no need to go anywhere else for tires and service.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jag.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
It's a big game. You know, and it's been a while for my school. You know, I think LSU's doing a great job of opening up the offense and also getting their ball players, the best players on the team, the ball.
Oh, Leonard Fournette jumping in on the LSU Georgia game, SEC championship game tomorrow on CBS 47, 4 o'clock. By the way, we'll have an SEC postgame show immediately following the game on CBS 47. So we'll have that, and then Action Sports Jax primetime, of course, every Saturday and Sunday, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. We got a weekend full of shows. College on Saturday, and, of course, on Sunday, 3 different Jaguars-related shows. Yeah, the show must go on.
The show must go on.
So win or lose, the shows must go on.
Well, speaking of the show must go on, man, it's like the Blair Witch Project up in here right now with the darkness.
I know. I was like, I'm chasing. All of a sudden, I kept moving back. I thought it was the sun kept going down. Then I think they were playing tricks on me for a bit. Then they lowered the lights even more.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, can I buy a little light?
We should purchase some ESPN 690 flashlights.
So well, I guess we will need them. I did not anticipate it being so dark in here at TopGolf. At first, I thought we were going to go outside anyway.
Yeah.
But then the sound checks were so loud.
Yeah.
So I got to do a better job. This is not a good engineering job.
No, it's like I said, man. We'll get flashlights. I'll tell ghost stories. I'll tell the stories of the 2000 and to 2012 Mike Malarkey year of all those horrors in the locker room, and we'll share some stories, man. It was a 2-win season, Brent. A lot of things didn't happen right there.
I was going to say there's plenty of stories to be told.
Yeah.
All right, there's plenty of picks to be made. Let's get right to it, right?
It.
Get our picks in, and there's a bunch of games. Let's go right at the one starting tonight, and that's Utah and Oregon, Pac-12 championship game. Sure. Huge implications on the line because it kind of seems like Utah not only has to win this game, but maybe convincingly. They have to impress the committee to stay in that 5 spot ahead of Oklahoma or Baylor and then creep up into Georgia's spot if Georgia were to lose tomorrow.
Yeah, with this one, the narrative is so crazy that people don't want to see Utah in the college football playoff.
I'm just the opposite.
Coaches have come. Well, and so am I, Brent, because, we really want to see Alabama and Clemson for, the 16th straight year. Play the greatest hits one more time, please. No, I want to see something fresh and exciting. And what happens, Brent, in the NCAA tournament for basketball?
Upsets, March Madness, Cinderella.
We cheer for the Cinderellas, right? We kind of relate more to the Cinderellas. I want to relate with the Utah Utes, so I'm going Utah, and I hope they're making the college football playoff.
By the way, they're a 7-point favorite. I'm going to go Utah, too.
That's a lot.
They have been just crushing people, though,
Sure.
ever since their loss to USC. I think they're playing really good football. The eye test should show that.
Yeah.
They're not just a defensive team either. They're very good defensively, but they're not just a defensive team. I like Utah in this game. Why? Because I'm riding with them. I got them in my
you
Final
also have
Four.
them in your Final Four.
So
I know,
this is my chance, right? I got to ride with them at this point. By the way, the stuff you were talking about, Paul Feinbaum, SEC snobbery in full effect, where nobody wants to see Utah. He's not right about that. I mean, I'm not saying everybody wants to see Utah. I'm not saying there are other teams that people don't want to see. Oklahoma, maybe it is I doubt it's a Baylor. I think I'd rather see Utah than Baylor if I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe nobody wants to see Utah. And I also don't think it will be now, if I'm one of those teams, I want to play Utah amongst all the other options, but I also don't think it will be a layup for any of the teams if they play Utah.
Well, and it's also from the perspective of they don't play the most exciting football, right? They play really great defense. They have a solid running game as opposed to maybe Oregon, who's more of that explosive offense, obviously the Oklahomas, and even the Baylors, who are more explosive. So, some people may not want to see the unsexiness of, the power run game mixed with good defense, but I do.
Yeah, you do. You're that kind of guy.
Hey, I'm from Wisconsin. That's all I know.
Baylor, Oklahoma, Big 12 championship game. I should have just segued right into the Wisconsin one, but I was already on to something. Baylor, Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 9 in a game where they trailed by, 25 points just a few weeks ago at Baylor. This one, a 9-point favorite for the Sooners. You like them?
Yeah, to me, I'm taking Hurts. He has the experience. I'm taking Lincoln Riley. I'm a believer. Go ahead and give me Oklahoma, even though it's with the 9.
You know what? I'm on the opposite side here. You know what I think is going to happen? I think both teams are actually playing pretty well defensively. I think this is going to be a defensive game.
Okay.
This is odd, but I think the Big 12 is going to provide us with a defensive football game, and it's not going to be like – 45-42. I think it's actually going to stay down somewhat for the Big 12, and that means the point spread will be too big for that kind of scoring output.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take Baylor, although I think Oklahoma wins. I'm going to take Baylor with the 9 points. All right, let's rock on to Wisconsin. Can they get it done? They lost 38-7 to Ohio State the last time. They're 16.5-point underdogs in this game.
Yeah.
Wisconsin playing pretty good football right now. A couple of impressive wins as of late, but the Buckeyes are maybe the best team in the land.
Buckeyes are the best team in the land. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They're good in all 3 phases of the game. That being said, I think Wisconsin's defense keeps it at least a low-scoring affair. That's what I said last time they played in Ohio State, and it kind of came back to bite me in the butt. I think Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator of the Badgers, he knows how to make good adjustments. He learned from his mistakes. I got the Badgers. Not winning the game outright, but I have them covering the spread.
All right. And then the SEC championship.
Who are you taking?
Oh, that's all right. I didn't even do that. I'm taking Wisconsin.
Okay.
To cover.
Cool.
So did you say outright or cover?
No, I said cover.
Okay.
They're not going to win out.
Okay. I've got Wisconsin. I was already moving on. Georgia, LSU.
Yeah.
And you talk about a style contrast, right? Georgia playing the defense.
Sure.
LSU, obviously, with the high offense. I think I read somewhere it's the number 2 offense in the country against the number 2 defense in the country.
Sure.
So that's what kind of matchup we're looking at. 7-point favorite, and I think earlier in the week it was like 5.5. So money's on LSU right here. At 5.5, I picked LSU when I did this earlier in the week in our Take Your Pick podcast, but that was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
7 points, that's a lot to roll with. Here's the thing. I've been on the Georgia bandwagon for a couple years. I think I also have them in the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken. And I do believe, though, that I think their offense can keep up with some teams more than people think. But I think the loss of Pickens because he threw a punch and got ejected, Cager, his injury, and Fromm doesn't look to be playing that great of football. Even though Fromm comes up in big games, he comes up big. So don't sleep on that. If you look at his resume, it's really good in big games. And I think Kirby will do enough to slow down LSU's offense to at least keep him around.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, there's just too much firepower on LSU. And I don't think I'm getting Georgia to the Final Four. I think LSU is going to win, and I think they're going to cover the 7, although I got a feeling it might be a push at 7 points. But it's going to be that kind of game.
Listen, this isn't your mom and dad's SEC anymore where defense doesn't win ball games. The high-powered offense does. And the high-powered offense goes to LSU. I got LSU winning too.
Now, there's a couple other games. Cincinnati, Memphis. Memphis just beat them. They're a 9.5-point favorite. Virginia, Clemson. How about Clemson's a 28.5-point favorite in their championship game? Boy, does that say
says a lot about the ACC, huh?
I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? All right, let's find a couple of good football games
for your division championship.
We usually do 3 and 3, but with all the Big 12, with all the championship games, college football, we did 4 of them there. How about this one, man? 49ers and the Saints. The Saints are 2.5-point favorites. Really good football game this weekend. 49ers has been murderer's row. They've had a tough schedule, and they've done the gauntlet pretty well.
Yep.
I believe the Saints are going to get them here. I like the Saints anytime they play in the Dome. I think 49ers might run out of a little bit of gas. I'm going to take New Orleans by 3 to beat San Francisco.
And it is in New Orleans, correct?
It is.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me the Saints as well. Since Drew Brees has come back, I don't think they've unleashed their full arsenal of their offense yet. I think, they haven't kind of checked all the boxes yet. I think this is the game, possibly against a really good 49ers defense where they do that. I have the Saints winning as well.
A couple of great games, by the way. Seahawks and Rams. I actually think the Rams are going to win that game. It's a pick-em game. Chiefs and the Patriots. Patriots favored by 3.
Yeah.
You want to pick that one? Chiefs and Patriots favored by 3?
At Kansas City, too, right?
No, it's at New England.
Oh, it's at New England.
So everybody's going to take the Patriots, right?
Yeah,
Not me. I'm taking the Chiefs to win.
You know what? If this is at Arrowhead, I think differently. Their defense plays out of their minds when it's at Arrowhead. Man. Go ahead and give me the Patriots. Yeah, I think their defense, Bill Belichick knows how to shut down high-powered offenses, except the Ravens, and I think he knows how to shut down the Chiefs here.
I'm taking the Chiefs. The Patriots just seem a little wounded, man, but December in Gillette Stadium, it's tough. It's really hard. I took the Chiefs earlier in the week because it was like a 3.5, so I love the hook.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Chiefs anyway.
Sony Michel, too. I'm just saying, watch Sony Michel. This could be his breakout game.
I think people are sleeping on the Chiefs right now.
Okay.
I think they are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's talking about them.
No, they're
Everybody's
not.
talking about San Francisco. Everybody's talking about Baltimore. Everybody's talking about Seattle.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about the Chiefs.
Well, and you know what? And that's kind of like the Lamar Jackson effect, right? Because last year it was all about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Patrick who, man? Patrick
Mahomes, like, can you give me a headline somewhere?
We're on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon now, man. Sure, you can do a press conference and talk like Kermit the Frog a little bit, but that's all we're going to give you. Now we're on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon. Now we're on the speedster that's playing quarterback.
Next week, Patrick Mahomes is going to call ESPN 690 just because he wants to be interviewed.
Yeah, dude, I'll talk to you. And make sure you bring Travis Kelce along as well, so I can talk to him about his bar tab that I ran up back in Kansas City.
One last one, Chargers-Jaguars, 3.5-point favorites for the visiting Chargers coming from the West Coast. I don't think the Jags win, but this will be the first close game in a month.
Okay.
And they'll cover the 3.5.
Oh, wow. Brent, going with the Jaguars covering 3.5.
We're going to finally see an exciting game. I mean, we've got Minshew back in the lineup, man. You got to keep it close at least.
Yeah. Chargers.
Not very hard.
That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
All right, those are the picks, and a lot of good games this weekend, a lot in college. Hopefully there are good games. On paper, that SEC championship looks really good. We're not really quite sure about the Baylor-Oklahoma game. I've got a feeling even the Clemson-Virginia, games like that, Wisconsin-Ohio State, are going to be better than most people believe they are going to be. I hope. Maybe I'm just wishful
Same with
thinking.
me, man. I hope so, too.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, we put a bow on the show. Maybe, since we did Ballin' and Fallin' for the first time this week, we'll even do Stay in Your Lane.
I won't get my hopes up. I never do anymore.
Well, you have homework done for the whole week.
Oh, I have homework done for like the past month. We're good.
It's coming up next on ESPN 690.
Hey guys, this is Allie McDeal from both Best Bet Card Rooms. Best Bet's annual Winter Poker Series will be starting on January 17th at our Jacksonville location. With 12 poker events, the Best Bet Winter Poker Series has something for everyone, including the main event featuring an $1,100 buy-in with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. Whether you're looking for a low-limit or a high-limit event, the Best Bet annual Winter Poker Series will have a seat for you. This January, experience the best at Best Bet Jacksonville.
Trust, tradition, and quality. A winning combination to feel good about your home. Sometimes it's just that time to replace your roof. Or maybe you need to fix your roof after a recent storm. Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau of Action Sports Jacks. And there are so many roofing companies in the area. But which one can you trust? Let me tell you about my friends at Jack C. Wilson Roofing Company. Trust a family-owned business with owners that grew up right here in Jacksonville. Talk to the owners directly. Get free estimates. And you can trust Jack C. Wilson Roofing to walk you through each step of the process. Tradition? Jack C. Wilson is a name you know. The longest-standing roofing company in Northeast Florida. They have been repairing and replacing asphalt shingle roofs since 1946. How about quality? A roof you will tell your neighbors about. Quality from start to finish, shingle by shingle. You can request a free estimate at jackcwilsonroofing.com. It's the first name in Jacksonville roofing. And make sure you let them know Brent Martineau sent you.
Hey, boss, I could sure use some cheering up. Hey, do one of your holiday poems for me, would you?
All right. How about this one? 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all through the town, Safe Touch was gone. They were nowhere to be found.
Oh, I like it already.
The do-it-yourself alarms, just as simple as pie, claim to be good, but crooks know it's a lie.
Yeah, we do.
No more stressing about Safe Touch's response guarantee, because the do-it-yourself alarms don't have one, you see?
Do-it-yourself alarms have no response guarantee?
And that's why it's plain to see that the Crooks Are Us rule reminds us every day staying away from Safe Touch houses is the price we gotta pay.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to...
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker dazzles this Christmas. Bring the whole family together for the original holiday tradition. Step into a simpler time filled with sweet dreams and spectacular magic. Experience world-class artists, stunning costumes, and towering puppets on the Gift of Christmas tour. It just wouldn't be Christmas without Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. Get tickets now at nutcracker.com.
Appearing at the Florida Theater December 22nd. Get your tickets today at nutcracker.com.
What's up, Jacksonville? Angie here, president of Angie Staffing. If you're finding it harder and harder to find the right candidates or your ads are letting you down, call me, Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. I have over 20 years of experience right here in Jacksonville. I can help with anything, accounting, finance, legal, even that one position that's impossible to fill. Angie Staffing, 904-703-8880. We're bringing back the hustle.
Golick and Wingo.
I don't know if I've ever felt worse for a kid in the league than Josh Rosenwright. It's like deja vu for him. He's going through this all again. We may never know what Josh Rosen could or could not have been because of the two situations he's found himself.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Now, back to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 and in the TuneIn Radio app.
Obviously, Nick, has more pelts on the wall in terms of, just experience. So he'll be like, hey, hey, Flip, in this coverage, you mind if I do this, or this, in terms of, an audible or an adjustment to a route. And a lot of times it makes the play better. So where Gardner is, we just try to, I don't want to say keep it simple because that's really not the case either, is you just try to make sure his eyes are in the right spot. You try to make sure he recognizes the coverage and things that all rookie quarterbacks are going through right now.
Talking about that experience factor with Nick Foles versus Gardner Minshew, and it'll just be interesting to see how this works out in the next month and how well he plays. John DeFilippo, it's got to be fascinating. Guys like Chris Conley, guys like DeFilippo have relationships with Nick Foles. Part of the reason they're here, part of the reason that those three guys are all here together, and yet you've got this situation. It's part of the business. It's a tough part of the business, though, and I don't care what anybody says. It's hard to ignore those feelings and just put them on hold and feel bad for the guy and say, well, it's not all his fault. And, again, we talked about this yesterday. This is where you get kind of, I think, factions of the locker room potentially. You got to do all you can to not have those thoughts seep in.
Yeah, exactly. When you start losing, the first question you want to ask is, why are we losing? And when you ask, why are we losing, you have to point the finger someplace. And I'm not saying that's being adamantly done in that locker room right now because I think all things considered, I think they are still a pretty good tight-knit group. But at the same time, those questions are being asked right now in the locker room, Brent, and there are some fingers probably being pointed.
Yeah, absolutely. You would think, at least as long as it's not public, then maybe, or if a win can hide some of it, maybe that helps in a lot of different levels.
Wins cure everything, man.
Well.
Yep.
All right, stay in your lane for the first time this week. What do you think?
Stay in your lane. Okay, here we go.
You didn't think Kuz was going to be ready?
I didn't think we were going to do it today. I mean, considering we haven't done a stay in your lane since, the Reagan administration, man. I guess I can say, let's go to the archives quick. Did we talk about Tiger Woods winning the Masters? Did we talk about that already? Yeah, I guess that was a while ago. We could talk about the 1980 men's hockey team beating the Russians. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, so Brent, we got some boxing coming up this weekend. Heavyweight boxing. Our friend of the show, Deontay Wilder, just had his win. Well, now comes the next match between Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua, the rematch. And going into this fight, I think the favorite could have been Andy Ruiz because a lot of people were saying he's the brawler. Anthony Joshua, being more athletic, tends to tire out a little more because he is all muscle. There is no flab on him. That looks good on cameras, but sometimes not the best for fighting. Well, did you watch the weigh-in today? Probably not, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to fill you in then. So Andy Ruiz, Brent, in case you didn't know, fought Anthony Joshua on 2 weeks' notice. I think it was 2 weeks, maybe on a week notice the first time they fought. Obviously, the big upset. You saw this everyday-looking guy knock out this world champion. Well, Andy Ruiz, when he fought Joshua the first time, weighed in at 268 pounds, a heavyweight limit, okay?
Okay.
And the belief of going forward, Andy Ruiz wanted to kind of cut a little more weight because, now he's got a full training camp at his disposal. So the belief was he was going to come in a little leaner, a little quicker, and that way that the fight goes a little longer, he'll be ready to go. Well, Andy Ruiz weighed in at 286 pounds today at the weigh-in. Take that for how you want. Now, his coaches have come on record saying that he fights when he's happy. He's happy when he weighs this weight. We'll see. I'm just saying, weighing in at 286 is going to be very interesting to see how this fight pans out. I was originally going to take Andy Ruiz in this fight again to beat Joshua once again, but now I'm taking Anthony Joshua, who weighed in at a lean 237. Now, keep in mind, too, this fight's important because whoever wins this fight will probably take on either Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, the winner of that fight. The only stipulation is, and this is why if you're a Deontay Wilder fan or you're not a Deontay Wilder fan, you should be, because when Deontay Wilder fights Tyson Fury, if Deontay beats him, he will fight the winner of Ruiz and Joshua for sure. However, if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury probably is not going to fight the winner of this fight this Saturday just because he's with ESPN and there's different kind of negotiations going on.
So a lot of ramifications.
A lot of ramifications going on.
All right, pump your brakes. We got a minute to go.
Okay, pump your brakes. Let me get to it. Yep, got it. Okay, so an NHL player by the name of Tyler Ennis went to get his ankle x-rayed after thoughts of a fracture. Come to find out, the x-rays showed that his ankle was completely displaced and his season was over from that injury. However, it wasn't Tyler Ennis' x-ray. Well, it was Tyler Ennis' x-ray, but it wasn't the hockey player Tyler Enos. There's a basketball player named Tyler Enos who played overseas, got the x-ray back in Canada. So when the hockey player ended up getting the x-ray for his ankle done, they mixed up the x-rays and misdiagnosed the hockey one and gave him with the basketball player. Confused? So am I. But long story short, Tyler Enos, the hockey player, will probably play again this season because it's not as bad as they first thought. Tyler Enos, the basketball player, our condolences to you and your messed up leg.
All right. New 6-year contract for James Franklin at Penn State, which means he's not coming to Florida State.
Sure.
Florida State, will they have a new coach by the end of the weekend? Who knows? That thing's been wild. A busy weekend ahead. We'll see you at the bank on Sunday. Maybe we'll see you tonight. TopGolf.com/Jacksonville. You can get tickets to Lee Bryce, Cassidy Pope. Come on out. Top Golf here tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. For Coos and Austin Lane, I'm Brent Martineau. We appreciate you listening. Have a fun weekend and a safe one.
This Christmas, Beards Diamonds is giving you more sparkle.
With 20% off everything in their massive showroom, including loose diamonds.
So now you can go bigger on her ring, bigger on her necklace, bigger on her earrings.
Because Beards Diamonds is giving you an extra 20% off everything, including loose diamonds.
Nobody in the town center does that. Plus, you get special financing.
Now through December 24th in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.